3, 2, 1, and go.
Let's go! It's Super Mario 74 Extreme Edition. I think, yeah, this is the perfect opportunity to see this exquisite ROM hack made like over 10 years ago, if you didn't see it literally yesterday.
Yeah, but this time it won't look like a shitpost. I swear.
Alright. Yep. If you're promising that. And also I think you're getting more stars this time. That's gonna be interesting.
Yep. 75 more, in fact.
Yep, in basically the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes more, but it's the same.
This time, the game should be, or the run should be reliant on my skill for pretty much the entirety of it, as opposed to yesterday.
For which it was reliant on your skill for like 1% of it, in which you were not getting the tornado sucking everything towards you.
Yep.
And that's actually one of the most useful abilities. What am I talking about? Anyway, so immediately we see a star that you shouldn't try to get at all if you're playing Chaos Edition, and that is Metal Cap Reds.
Yep.
It's probably one of the hardest stars in Overworld 1.
Yeah, we're starting with that right off the bat. Not all people start with Metal Cap. I know, or at least at some point people started with Course 1, then made their way over to Course 2, and then Metal Cap. But,
yeah.
Oh! And here we start with a very nice invisible wall.
Oh god, what am I about to see? Oh god. Okay, how is that even a thing? That looks like it's the same long jump you make every single time, but nope. The invisible wall decided to be there.
Yep. This is very
wow, that is a very skill-based then. Yep,
I agree.
I know, right? Yeah. As a reminder, Super Mario 74 EE is a perfect ROM hack, as you can see right now, which once you remove the Chaos Edition part of it, then it suddenly becomes all about your skill. And there's nothing like an incredibly bad camera preventing you from making progress exactly right now.
Well, at least the camera is better than in Chaos Edition, but I'm not sure that that's saying much in this situation.
Yeah, basically. I expected you to say better than Last Impact, to be honest, but I think
okay,
that's just PTSD talking.
I've never played Last Impact on the not 1.2 versions, but I'd assume it's not even that is not as bad as the camera can be sometimes in this game.
I mean, probably. Arguably you have control over the camera in Last Impact, which it's kind of the case here as well, but it also does whatever it decides to do, because we're talking about Mario camera, as you can probably see in the bottom right corner.
You know, I'm usually the guy to defend Extreme Edition, but in this specific instance, I think I'll be able to recognize its flaws as well.
Yep, I think that's a good thing in general. Same thing I could say about my favorite ROM hacks, because no ROM hack is flawless, and we are going to see if...
I'd say it's an important part of loving things, is recognizing what can make it bad for other people.
God, that's absolutely true. I mean, yeah, it still seems to be going fine for you so far, because you know the faults and you're working around them. Save for that invisible wall that happened, but...
That first death was a bit unfortunate, but as you can see, I still managed to get the star.
Yep, second time Metal Cap Reds is really good, considering that many people would not have the skill to even get the star casually, or not even speed themselves.
Yeah, for most people who do start playing Extreme Hacks with Extreme Edition, Metal Cap Reds is probably going to be one of their first very big accomplishments in this game.
Yeah, it's one of the early game achievements. The other one would be, I think,
Course 3 points basically. Hundreds.
Yep. And those are... I mean, which one is your favorite between the two?
I prefer Metal Cap Reds personally.
Interesting. I'm more into Course 3 Reds myself, because, well, they're more of an entire parkour section. Luckily both are lava, so it's not really like a deal of how much perfect movement you can do without screwing up, because usually in both places you can kind of recover from a singular mistake without dying immediately.
I do like Course 3. I do like the challenge that is given in Course 3 Reds and Hundreds, but as you will probably see later on, some of that enjoyment is taken away by, unfortunately, very, very bad collision.
Sadly, yep. The tools weren't developed, the knowledge wasn't there, the collision in earlier on hacks is basically whatever the fate decides.
Yep.
And I'm kind of sad that Woodmort isn't here because he would have probably more inside stories with such experiences of collision. And oh god, so that's the free star in the level, because of course you have to have a mandatory star off the cliff of the beginning of the level. But it was a little bit of a doozy because of well, hitting the lava just above the hole, which means he had to recover a little bit there.
Yeah, and with this last star where we have to cross that very thin bridge, we finish off Metal Cap and we directly go to Course 3.
Yep, where we are going to see, surprise surprise, more lava! It's like a very fun transition because you see, yep, we were already doing the same, so you have practiced already, this should be going just fine, no problems.
And thanks for the
We've got you some, yep, exactly, some good work from Let's Team.
Oh
Good job.
God, lag.
Oh god, it's not only the stream? Damn.
Yeah, no, I get lag sometimes because my laptop can be a little poo-poo sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough.
I still try despite
yeah,
that. And even then,
I think this will illustrate really well what I was trying to say earlier. Like you bonked there, which I think was avoidable, but that's not really the problem because you can get to this section and you're not immediately dead. You can still go do something else if you want.
That's what's good about this course, when you try to do points first at least, is in case you fall, you do have a bunch of backup stars in case getting back up is just too slow.
Yep, absolutely. So that's why I guess now it makes sense that you started with reds, because if you screw up, you have backups.
Yeah. I would say red coins here is... Red coins and 100 coins here are the hard stars of Overworld 1 already.
Would you consider, on that note, courses 6 and 7 to be Overworld 1? Because they are contained in here, but they are kind of locked between the, or behind the 30 star door.
I consider them Overworld 1, I just, well, at least from a personal standpoint, I didn't have as much trouble with courses 6 and 7 compared to course 3.
That's interesting already. That might mean that I need to keep playing the game and get those course 700s that I never did. Oh well.
Well, you know what I think about that? I do always like when you play this game, and you know.
Yeah.
It's a rare.
Absolutely, it's just.
It happens on rare occasions, but that's what makes it all the more special.
Damn, thank you. Yeah, the whole thing is, I just don't really have that time anymore. And when I have the time, it's well deciding to do something else because EE is not the first on my list.
You've also got to have the drive. If you don't have either the time or the drive, then yeah, definitely stuff like Geyser Hex may just not be up your alley, at least the longer ones.
Yep, absolutely. I'm glad you acknowledge that, and in turn I probably have to acknowledge just how much drive the Kaizo players have to play these home hacks, and yeah, just acknowledge it maybe as a positive thing because they seem to be having a good time. Accurate now, because this seems to be going well with the beginning section of the red coins, or the coin collection in general.
Yeah, I need to back up again. I was getting stuck on Invisible Wall again.
Yeah, unfortunately this is Invisible Wall City because, well, for one, if you have ceilings in your level collisions, then you're basically subscribed to having invisible walls, and fixing those really depends on the situation. And it might be that you don't find the invisible walls before you release the game, or you might just not have testers, which is often the case with these old ROM hacks.
Yeah. Usually for old ROM hacks, the only playtesters will be the hack creators themselves.
And on that note, it's always an amazing story, which I think is just in time with these blue coins over here. It's an amazing story how Woodmore tested the blue coins himself. Apparently he was very lucky with obtaining them, like almost all of the blue coin switches.
Yes.
In a very tight way, but almost immediately first try within like... Okay, it's not really the first try at that point. But
within a
like
30
minutes,
time frame, yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't have to adjust basically any of them because they seem to be just fine, like just possible and hard enough without being completely bullshit or literally unobtainable almost every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if it's a stroke of luck or pure genius.
Alright.
So, yep, that gets you out of the cave with the 15 yellow coins, which is pretty helpful for the hundreds, the 6 red coin. At this point, the red coins that remain, I'm not even sure. I think there's the one off the highest ledge on the bridge,
yep.
And then
there's another one which
one
we're gonna get when we get out of this tunnel right here. I just need to collect all the
Fair
coins
enough.
here, first of all.
Yeah, over here we have some more coins. When you think about it, this is one of those missions that really repeats basically all of the other stars and then adds something to itself, making for the hardest mission in the level. That is also like the difficulty of almost all other stars in the level combined. But I think it gets away with it because, well, I don't know, there's still some pretty unique movement that's not tied to what you do for the other stars. Yep, that's the red coin I meant earlier that you're still missing. Which, yeah, as you can see, he has some extra time to mess up and still get the coin in another way and still return without any damage. Which is one of the good things about a Kaiser on hack that allows you to make mistakes without killing immediately. I'm not saying that some hacks should take notes, but that's basically what I'm saying. Okay, and back to mainland. Featuring some piranha plants, which you can just brutally murder by going through them with the metal cap. Doesn't matter if they're awake or asleep.
And here we're also gonna murder some Goombas and make our way to the last red coin. And that way we spawn both the 100 coin star and the red coin star.
At the same time, it's satisfying to see it's not a double star spawn, but we cannot be picky, especially in extreme roll hacks, that's for sure. So yep, it's conveniently right over here. Now, it probably could have been picked up earlier, but if he did that, he probably would have been in a more dangerous position with other red coins.
Yeah.
Spawning the star with inconvenient camera angles, which, again, you don't want to see in this roll hack. The camera is already tough to use. Yep, let's see, final ledge gap, there we go. That clears possibly the hardest stars in the overworld, so now we are just going to see the star count skyrocket for
a little bit.
The next few minutes.
Alright, so here, that star I just got, you normally need the metal cap for, but it was found that you can just lava bounce on these walls right off the bat and barely get it before running out of health.
Speaking of, I think it's sometimes possible to get it with only the 2 lava bounces, so it
is possible. I've done it before, but 3 is usually more comfortable.
Yep, it's a tight difference. I personally cannot ever see where the difference is, like the first landing and the first lava bounce, what makes it so that you have a good setup for getting it in 2 lava bounces versus 3.
I got a little too greedy here.
Yep. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fine because, little trick, not all of those... Oh, I see what you mean now, that was a double greedy. What the hell, is this no peril mode? I know, right? Yep. And I think there's even no chances of the game crashing in basically 99% of any situations ever. Yeah, that's pretty revolutionary. I'm glad we figured that out, because after yesterday, we might have needed to call this off due to technical difficulties if the game kept crashing and draining your health. Yep. So yeah, one of the the flamethrowers over here, fire spewers, flamethrowers, thin difference, doesn't actually hit the pillar, which I don't know if that was intentional, but yep, it's a nice example of all bark and no bite, which is also a good thing to see over here.
Yeah, I'm sorry to everyone who's gonna hear this on stream. This is my alarm. I have no idea how to turn it off, and I'm very sorry if you hear that. Hopefully it should end after a minute.
Hopefully, we will find out in real time. I would like to be curious, if that's fine with you, what is this one setup for?
One setup, what do you mean?
Why did you have this alarm for this time of the day?
Well, I was given this alarm as a birthday present from one of my grandmothers. Unfortunately, none of us in the house know how to how to set it up properly, so it kind of just rings at midnight, and with the day, excuse me. With the daylight savings happening, it makes it ring at 23:00, which, you know, 11 p.m.
Oh, I see. Because I would figure it's something about the midnight, but it's midnight for me and not for Central Europe right now. So
yeah.
That's... Yep. Oh, interesting. Sounds like a problem with one of those old VHS players, because apparently no one knows how to set the timer on a VHS player to show something other than 12 o'clock. Or maybe that's just a meme in popular media. I don't know. I'm a little bit too young to discuss this, I guess. Okay, so I see next up is Varus Vine Veranda.
Yep.
Yep, it's inhabited with, well, surprise, surprise, the same enemies we saw in the previous course, which is piranha plants and thwomps from time to time.
Alright.
But it doesn't have lava anymore. But we are going to make precarious jumps over the bottomless pits of the level.
I missed 2 blue coins here. Usually you want to get all 6, but it's fine. There are enough backup coins in the level.
Yep. It could be a thing that you get 5 of the 6 and you were really close to getting those there, so...
Yeah, if I got 5 of the 6, I would not have to do a slight detour at the end of the start, but here I will have to. But it's fine.
Well,
I can afford it in this type of run, because it's so long anyway.
Yeah, basically. That just means we are good tour guides and we will showcase most of the parts of the level.
Yep.
So that's not only a good speedrun, but also good education for whoever would want to play this ROM hack. Wink wink. Okay, so now here's a neat little trick. You can grab this jumping box. You want to break it and get the coins, that's for sure. And this red coin is conveniently placed on the way, so yep. You get double work done for the same time. And oop, that's the Womp Cycle we missed. No big deal though, especially with the extra coins to collect. Yep, so far so good. I think we still haven't seen really the worst of the worst this level has to show, other than the blue coins, but we'll get there. Especially because with red coins, it's always the case that people like putting each single red coin in pretty bad positions as to force the best jumps that the player can make. Speaking of, oh god, this ledge, I have memories, and probably everyone who has played Extreme Edition has tried this red coin and knows what this one goes like. Really, it's a chain long jump, but it is pretty scary because you are covering a pretty big distance. You kind of have to peek around the wall, and you have to do a ledge grab, which, again, only happens if you're successful. So it's a tight jump, in short.
Oh, I missed the red coin. That's a little unfortunate, but can be backed up, thankfully.
Well, oh, it's that red coin of the soul, because there's another 2 red coins which are right behind this tower. You just get them for climbing up here and then dropping off the correct side of the tower. So this is a little bit of a time loss, but yep, we get to see more of the level. That's the one thing we can say.
By more of the level, you do mainly mean the same part of the level more.
Yeah, basically. I'm coming up with this on the spot, even though the correct thing to say, I think, is time save for the next run. Yeah, you're gonna do another run of this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
At the event, maybe.
Trying to I tried to de-rust this because this was originally gonna be a race with Love Baseball, who sadly had to drop out because you know.
Oh right.
Unfortunate issues. They just simply did not have the time to, you know, they didn't
Yeah,
really have the time to dedicate to all of this with their job and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes real life takes over. Just gotta accept it.
But you know,
Okay. That gives the last two red coins over here.
you can
sorry.
you can still appreciate what he tried to offer, even if he couldn't. You can still see he had some motivation for it.
Yep, the effort, that's for sure.
Which is not what can be said for everyone, sadly.
Oh well.
Well, I don't.
You don't need to get into that, but
I don't need to
general,
like. I really don't mean to throw spikes at anybody here. I'm just saying. There's definitely not a lot of people like baseball who have the ambition to do such stuff.
Yep, I can agree to that. There's different factors, but some people are definitely good at preserving their motivation even through other events. So it's admirable if they try to contribute to the event with all they can.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
Also
on with Light Spikes right now.
I wonder if those are just a visual on the stream that everyone gets to see, or if you also get those wax spikes.
Oh, I do get those Light Spikes.
Interesting. God, I think you're playing pretty well considering those wax spikes, because right now I think we're witnessing about 10 seconds of no visuals. Okay, I guess we're talking about different things after all. So you get some wax spikes, but there's also
yeah, there's some light
moments
spikes
where
on
the stream
game
freezes
and...
for like 10 seconds straight at a time.
Which I'm pretty sure I've said before in the marathon, but I am looking into buying a new computer after this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, speaking of the many fortunate things that we have over here, I think we also have to applaud your computer for surviving, because that was also not a given at the start of the marathon, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shoutouts to KingToad's computer for living. Okay, so yep,
Yeah,
Reds and
here we
Conduits
see-
out of the way.
Yep.
Again, easier stars.
Probably the hardest star that doesn't involve coin collecting here, the secrets.
Yeah, at this point, you can notice a trend with the extreme roll hacks, and it's basically the coin stars and everything else. And rarely there's exceptions where either there's another collectible or just a star that requires such insane jumps that it also gets into the Hall of Fame of hardest stars or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard not to say list or anything like that.
Here, what
So
you
that was,
you saw for that star, by the way, is not the intended way to get the star. The intended way is actually to jump down to another area and then activate a switch that will spawn some boxes for you to jump on.
Yep, if you notice, the name says jumping parkour, and let me tell you, the intended way for this star is definitely jumping parkour. And it would probably make this course a bit more of a contender for difficulty, same as the course 3 coins as we discussed earlier, but nobody is going to do that in their actual playthroughs. Yeah, the people might like Kaizo's, but they are definitely going to skip the pain if there's a way to skip the pain. Yep, and slick wall kicks over there, that also takes care of the other jumping parkour, involving some more parkour. Felt with the C, yep, that also happens, but again, not everyone is a native English speaker, so...
Not even English speakers themselves.
To be honest, yeah. Holy shit. I mean, German might also make an interference depending on the words. I think we see that later on in Breezing Beach, but that's a really small fun fact trivia of something.
I'll skip the pain by skipping the... Valid. That's also valid.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it, but since we are playing for the content over here, showcasing this amazing extreme roll hack, yeah, we are not skipping the pain that way. We are only showing you how to obtain easy stars by using skips.
Yeah, as you can see here, we're heading over to Bowser 1, which is Bowser's beautiful backyard.
Yep,
Which...
a little bit of a switcheroo, because the original one was Bowser's Badlands Battlefield, which, yep, the original rock hack had the all dark and gloomy level, and over here we have a little bit of a switch to the regular grasslands.
A little bit of a one-off in this hack, but that's what makes it a little more special, at least.
Yeah, to be honest, that makes at least one level with over Night of Doom, which has actual watchable level material. Like Night of Doom has all the dark and gloomy levels, for example, with blue and purple and very visible quicksands. So,
and as you can see here,
this
double-sided walls.
Oh god, don't tell me you actually got stuck on those. I didn't even know that was possible. That's interesting.
That has happened to me more times than I'd like to admit.
Oh god. What moves are permissible over there? We saw, I think, a backflip and double jump, but is it one of those spots where you could triple jump or side flip in place?
No, sadly.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I think either of those moves would let you get out of there. But yeah, apparently double-sided walls, indeed. Yeah, this is definitely one of the content stars, because even Wogmort himself admits that, well, this is one of the original stars. He didn't really have any place to put it, so now it's off a random match. Good luck finding it.
Alright, here we're gonna go for the red coins in the stage. If
Oh
the game
god,
doesn't
it
lie.
begins. And by it begins, I mean a bunch of wall kick pain and a bunch of thwomp pain. So first off, we have some perfectly straight parallel walls you can wall kick between. But remember, the best things we have for a camera over here are Mario camera and vanilla Wacky 2 camera. And neither of those really allow for good wall kicks. Because the moment you start taking off in the air, the camera is going to try to either move itself out of the same axis, making the wall kicks more difficult because you're not well aligned, or in the case of Mario camera, it's going to try to go below you, which the effects of that you can definitely see on your screen right now.
Yeah.
And here comes probably the single hardest jump in the first overworld, even if we consider course 3 coins.
This one jump is a huge roadblock for many players.
Yep, especially shoutouts for the fact that it's in the Bowser level, so you need to do this jump to reach the Bowser, and you need to do this jump to unlock basically 1/3 of the game.
Yeah.
The run will be good if Wog wants. That's true, but I think he might be asleep at this time of the day, so yeah, the least he would do is wanting the run to be good right now. Okay, yep, peep this red coin. Let's see if King Toad can get an incredibly precise trick. Unfortunately not, but that's kind of expected. It's more of a one-off if the trick is successful there.
Yeah.
It's a thing called the sexy wall kick because it does look pretty good when you get it. I have to admit that. I fully agree to the name.
Courtesy of frame perfection.
Oh yeah, that's true. I wouldn't know who patterns those strats because it's always Frame or Cartoon Buffoon.
Either one of the two.
Yeah, the two go basically hand in hand with this game because it has quite the legacy for the sake of speedrunning. Yep, so the idea... Yeah?
What I'm... sorry that we keep interrupting ourselves so much. You know.
Yeah, that was totally prepared.
Yeah. But you will probably know that Crouton, as well, Cartoon Buffoon rather. Excuse me. I'm not that great at coming up with stuff on the spot. I do need to work on that a little bit sometimes, I feel.
Nah, that's fine. I don't like. Some people are probably naturals at it. I'm also fine with admitting that I'm not that good at it. I just keep talking about what's happening on the screen, basically. But you were saying about something about Cartoon, and I think
Frame.
Some stats related to the red coin and Frame also in general.
Yeah. Yeah, you will know that Frame Perfection and Cartoon Buffoon are the two faces of this game.
It's been a friendship and a rivalry that's been going for quite a while. And they optimized the speedrun quite a lot, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. Probably the most optimized long extreme roll hack speedrun.
For sure.
Well, all of the categories actually.
Yeah.
So it's multiple speedruns.
Yeah, you can also say that stuff like Night of Doom 90 star and Treasure World 115 star are also very optimized right now.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, the people are starting to return to them in such a way that they put the effort to get the speed. For example, Stan, who is writing history right now and might even get back the world record with a sub 3 hours 90 star speedrun. It's quite a sight to behold. Though there's so many ROM hacks out there nowadays, modern ROM hacks, stuff for basically every taste from casual to super extreme difficulty, basically for 5 people in the world, that I don't know, maybe the market is saturated a little bit. You have so much to watch, you don't notice the good old extreme ROM hacks as much anymore, but people still return to those OG streams. Okay. Yeah, hopefully the low kicks are going fine right now in the twomp jump. A little bit of concentration, maybe I shouldn't be talking all the time.
That's a good point, Ascari. The 0-star discovery of this game was it was found not so long ago, actually, only in the summer of 2020.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it was 2020, but yeah, all of a sudden one day we woke up with a EE 0-star, and thus 10-star was no longer the minimum percent to beat the game.
I do think it's pretty nice to finally see a 0-star being discovered for this game after so long. And by proxy, that also meant that 74 0-star was possible, considering that they both use roughly the same level models.
Well, I wouldn't take it for a given, but it was indeed found to be possible.
Yeah.
And oh god, I don't know if that sound went through the stream, it probably did, but it basically means that I have to return in a little bit with some life juice for my laptop. So,
no worries.
Excuse me for a little bit. Yeah, I hope you get the remaining section of the Bowser, which I think is basically Bowser himself at this point.
Exactly. These life spikes are really not... really not helping right now. I don't know why they happen so much. Alright, here we have the Bowser fight. Not really anything noteworthy here. It's basically just the same old arena as in vanilla Mario 64. Except now there's only one bomb and it's very high up. Is my CPU hacking up or something? I don't know if it is. I would hope not. Right now I only have the bare minimum to do this right now, which is, you know, Discord, OBS, Starts Play, Project 64, and Chatty.
Yep, basically. Luckily, I think just watching the stream myself on Twitch is with an acceptable delay, so I don't need to force you to Discord stream, because that probably would kill the run even more, so yeah, let's not do that. Yep, that's a lot easier without Chaos. Hey, you see now he put the standard way too high, because first you saw the Extreme Edition with Chaos mode on, and now you're seeing a skilled player play the actual Extreme Edition ROM hack without the random bullshit happening every 15 seconds or so, which might make you believe that stuff are easy. Well, they are easier, but not necessarily easy. You can try it for yourself if you don't believe me. So, okay, what KingToad got over there just now was the intended shell star, but it's also interesting that there's the second way to get it, which is a couple of low kicks and a couple of follow bounces. Like, it's attempted to prevent cheese with how part of the tunnel has ceiling, so you cannot just wall kick off the entire thing. But you still can do just enough to get the star with this tip of a way. Okay, these levels look really strange and not friendly at all. Yup, this is ROM hack dependent. Right now you are watching one of the extreme ROM hacks that we have over here, which means it's a hack so difficult that everyone recognizes it as basically we are playing this for the completion and for the challenge, and not necessarily to have a good time just with the gameplay by default. It's more of an achievement kind of thing, or challenging yourself kind of thing. It's one of those like entryways to actual extreme Super Mario 64 ROM hacks. So enjoy your stay, because this is basically a display of skill more than a display of a good game design. Any other comments?
Yeah. Well.
Oh god.
Yeah. One thing I can say is that the fact that you probably saw that coins drop down from the air for no reason. That's because there was a Lakitu up there. But if the Lakitu is above lava, it somehow counts as the Lakitu touching the lava, as if it was on the ground, which means it will die instantly whenever it goes above a lava texture.
Yeah, basically Super Mario 64 goes with many quirks, and one of them is multiple enemies decide to die over lava no matter how high they are in the air. It's just if they are exposed to the lava, that's the only floor they are above, then they will just disappear. Which I think... Wait, Snuffits don't die over lava, but then
their bullets
really
get
don't
neglected.
Yeah, I think... Then I don't know. I
they'll
can't
try to
reference this
shoot...
very well, but enemies like Goombas and stuff like that also die pretty easily when lava is involved. So, yeah. Yep, and we have Scuttlebutt Raider in chat. Hello there. Yep, finally some real hacks. Okay, but to remove the meme from that one, finally some real difficult ROM hacks. There are many easier ones, and there are such things as the Mega Pack on sm64romhacks.com, so if you want to start with ROM hacks, we have better looking, playing, and more accessible stuff in general.
Yeah. As well as the Extreme Mega Pack, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that's true, which of course this ROM hack is also included in the Extreme Mega Pack, if you want an example of well, stuff that we consider good enough and approachable if you want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And yep, it's also true that this ROM hack has quite the story, made for Christmas 2012. It's just over 10 years old now.
Yep.
Which is quite the legacy. And indeed, as VL says in the chat, back in my days this hack was considered peak difficulty for SM64 ROM hacks. I think the word was thrown around that the Crudevil Sphere was the hardest SM64 ROM hack level to exist at that time.
Yeah.
Maybe even impossible, but then it wasn't impossible anymore.
Thanks to one man named Fritfrat, as you might know.
Yep. Which many other people would follow suit afterwards to write their names down in history as people who completed the ROM hack. Save status, I should say. Maybe this is a good point to mention that there are still save states. And honestly, if you want to enjoy ROM hacks, including the extreme ROM hacks, they're a valid option to use. Yeah, if you're going for actual completions and achievements and so on, yeah, you should be going for save status, but other than that, yeah, just play the game however you want with the tools available.
I'm sorry for that noise I made a bit ago, it's just I hit something that's really precise and that I barely ever get. And this is the second marathon I get this.
Oh god, yep, those round bounces also look
if you could see here, the way I landed on that little platform, it's pretty precise. But it cancels out the two bounces you do when after touching lava.
Oh god, yeah, I think it was such a thing that I didn't even notice because of small brain too. Oof.
Yeah, it's a very minor thing, but it's always awesome when it happens.
Yeah, it's one of those style points moments you want to see it happen, even though it's objectively not going to make the timer tick slower or anything like that. Okay, so another star that exists, unfortunately we cannot say much else about it, is basically the repeat of the first star, and the idea is that you won't find me, because some of them just have to be hidden. And then when you use a walkthrough and know where the star is, then, well, it's basically free progress once again.
Yep. So here we're
Speaking
done.
of, oh, you don't have it. The first star.
Yeah, here we're done with course 1, and we're gonna make our segue to the second part of the overworld. Because we have enough stars to open the 30-star door, which unlocks course 6, course 7, as well as the cannon, which will unlock course 8, course 9, and the wing cap stage. As well as the MIPS, which will give us 2 stars.
Yep, it sounds like we're going for a feast here.
Yeah, unfortunately, the levels do ramp up in difficulty at this point, so it will not be an easy feast to have.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the course numbers ramp up, and yeah, if I think about it, that's not really a measurement of anything. You could place your courses in any order. Kaza did it with Madness. Have to bring that up, of course.
Yeah, here we're going into course 7, Melting Ice Crystal Tower, which is, I think, just based around global warming.
Yeah, it's he was definitely conscious enough to send the message all those years ago. And as you can see, there's like 80% less ice and 100% more ice in the most inconvenient spots possible.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this really speaks for the real world that's outside of this computer screen. You probably shouldn't look away from it right now.
For anyone here that does know the original Super Mario 74, you will note that the original version of this level was pretty challenging compared to the other levels in the game that you've encountered so far, exception being course 5, I'd say, Haunted Factory in that game. But yeah, here it's the same thing. The general difficulty ramps up from this point.
Yeah, if you examine the courses carefully in order to try and see where we are coming up with such assessments of the difficulty, saying this is where it ramps up, this is where it was easy, and now it suddenly becomes more difficult. Well, have a look at the general jumps that you need to do and how many times you need to do those jumps to progress through the level. For example, this kind of a weird setup side flip in the beginning of the level in order to get to the second platform. There's similar things in the original Ice Crystal Tower where you're suddenly required to do triple jumps and side flips that you might not even know how to do yet, and the other levels didn't really want you to do those jumps to obtain the stars over there, and it might come off as a roadblock for your progress. Same thing over here.
So
okay, a bunch of airborne coins.
And here, as you could see, I abused my invincibility frames to get into the snowman, and then by crawling and spinning inside of him, I can kill him a lot easier. Because otherwise it would require me to spin around him on a very limited amount of ground.
Yep, ground that you can see immediately over here as well. Yep. When you subtract the hitbox of the snowman from the equation, you can see that you need to be precise with those spins. And fun fact, Wort was precise with those spins because one of the things he did while testing the game included coin questing, or obtaining all possible coins from every level, still with save states, but still he wanted to get those coins all at the same time. And he got all such coins from killing snowman and eyeballs included around the game, with the exception of one eyeball in Crudevo Sphere. And the important thing here is he didn't know about the trick that KingToad showcased with the invisibility frames. So he was doing all of those precise spins, and it's nice to know that apparently they're at least possible, even though we are not going to do them.
As you just saw here, that was a little bit of bad RNG with those spin drifts. 2 of the coins fell off, and another coin from the Chucky falling off. Which is kind of unfortunate because we need coins in this level, because this game overall usually is really tight on coins and stuff like that.
Yep, which is fair enough, because when you make a game like this, the coin stars are probably not actually going to be part of your design philosophy. You want to put enemies in positions that will make the enemies pretty dangerous for the players. And finally, I mean, how should I say it? With coin stars, you're either going to be pretty close to the limit, unless you're actually making 100 coin star have 100 coins in the level, just for being a dick. Or you are going to have like about 200 coins in the level. Shoutouts again to the sphere levels. Unfortunately, this pole is not cooperating, so Mario is trying to do some demonic rituals to spawn coins from the pole, from the top, because again, spinning around the pole is really stupid and no one would ever do that.
I don't even think it's possible right now.
I mean, this is probably going to sound stupid, but have you tried spinning the other way? Okay, there we go. They showed up finally.
Yeah. Right, so here I'm gonna have to go for some backup snowman to kill. I'm trying to do the math here. Am I gonna have to go for the crazy box at the top? Let me see.
Oh, that's gonna hurt if you need to do that, because that does imply going to the very top of the level.
I don't need to do that. I just need to get the snowman that's on the 4th platform.
fair enough. Let's see that happen in action, hopefully. Still less tight than 74's Beach. Yes, we do have to comment on that one as well. And it's probably gonna come up again when we get to Breezing Beach. At least that gimmick was scrapped because even at that point Woodward already hated it. Which comes to say something. Yep.
Right.
And also, I don't know if you saw it, Katie, but you got a message from Baseball.
Yeah, I'll read that in a second as I spawn the coin stars.
Yep. Okay, interesting
Which should be
property
coming
of
up
that
very
one
soon
platform.
as I'm making my way towards the last red coin.
Fair enough. The last red coin, I think that one is around the one pillar where you just have to jump off because yes. I think yeah, there's the one up over here and there's the red coin.
Oh
Which,
my god,
again-
the lag spiked again.
Oh no. Unfortunately,
fine.
red coins like that force reclimbs and that's the entire value that they add to the level. They do add difficulty, but it's not good difficulty.
While sending one message during one of KT's runs, I immediately getting bad power energy for 9 hours and then coming back to another KT's runs. I'm sorry you have to deal with the parent energy baseball, but hey, I love you too, man.
Yep, and maybe it's going to get better when you have less dependency on parents. Saying just maybe. I don't know, but well, the important thing is that real life goes well first, and otherwise we might also have time for good Mario times. Just never say never. Okay, so you saw the red coin star spawn over somewhere over there earlier, and you see the star marker there on the ground. Now the deal with it, unfortunately, is that it's high up in the air because, again, that's just more content when you do that. Yeah, you have to do the final difficult trick of climbing half of the level to drop down and get the red coin star from over here instead. Yep, that does clear another pretty difficult set of stars over here.
Okay, I missed the secret, just gonna go for another star. Here, what I tried to do is a pretty precise double jump kick to get a secret that's suspended over the air. Normally what would happen is I'd have to hit a purple switch that makes boxes appear, and then there will be a box that spawns all the way over there, and I'd have to land on it to get the secret, but it's possible to get it without.
Yep, and that's a bit of an outlier because the other 4 secrets, as you might be seeing in a bit on the screen, basically require you to do various kinds of acrobatics to get out of where the secret is, or obtain the secret in the first place. This one is just like, get over there, and the box won't even be suspended in a weird way in the air. It's a valid platform, but you just need to somehow know that it's going to spawn over there.
Oh my god! How am I standing on this?
Oh god, I will have to see this, and apparently it's in a bunch of time because it seems that the stream does have some delay.
Yeah,
I have a little delay to the stream, but yeah, unfortunately I need to find some other way to watch the stream. Oh my god, the absolute save. So you managed to trigger the one text box but not land on the platform and then still got the other star from behind them.
That was actually I was actually intending on getting that box star, but I did not mean for it to be that close on the landing.
Right, so yep, for now I think I'll be contemplating whether I can obtain any other way to watch the stream with less delay as you're still trying to get the secrets. Yep, I did see that you missed that one secret a second time. Are there any other backups? Is it just going to the top of the tower now? Oh.
Yeah, it's just
That's
getting
a
other stars. Okay, I keep missing this one secret. Eventually, when I run out of other stars to get, I'll have to just get that one with the box, but for now, it's still faster to just go for other stars if I miss that.
Yep, fair enough. If it goes really bad, which of course I don't wish, but just in case, have you ever considered going to another core first and then returning over here later? Has that ever been a thing?
I've never done that in Extreme Edition speedruns.
Yep. Hopefully today's not the day where we see that in effect. Let's see.
I'm just gonna go for the Womp fight here.
Okay, sounds like an idea. Of course the Womp fight does also make you climb extra much around the tower so that you get at least to the the middle layer, like the actual level at which you can be considered on the tower and not just on random platforms. And yep,
Like,
shooting down straight.
Very janky way to do this fight, but it worked.
Okay, let's see it in action right now with that stream delay. There are a couple of ways to deal with the womp. The best ways involve trying to phase through the womp with the ground pounds as he is rising up, but you might not always be able to do that, and if you fall off, you do have to reclimb. So,
and of course,
yeah,
the boss regains itself as soon as you have to restart the fight.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, this the secret does not want to be collected today.
We might need to resort to the actual switch to see the position of the secret in action.
We might have to. I still have one star I can get here.
Indeed, at this point we see the name of the secret star flotation in block form, and there's only that left and climbing to the very top of the Ice Crystal Tower, so yep, running out of chances. So I take it nothing interesting is happening right now. I can just estimate that we are seeing you passing through some spin drifts and you're probably on the tower itself as we speak.
Yep.
Yes, that's...
This is the stuff we've already seen before, so there's not really a ton more that can be said.
Yep, at this point the only content that we're going to see is probably the last platform climb until you
which
get
does
to the
require
to
a
get
little
to
bit of a different jump than the other platforms.
You can kind of observe the intricacies of Mario doing triple jumps, low jumps, just gaining height any possible way he can.
Vertical movement in Mario 64 is pretty fun if it's executed well.
It looks pretty cool, especially to us, the people who know how it's working. To other people it might look confusing because it's not very intuitive, for example, that you do a triple jump, a wall jump that holds back to the same platform, and you gain such height with it that now you are able to ledge gap on the platform and climb up. Yeah, that sounds quite unorthodox, just saying that.
Oof, okay.
But we do indeed have a soul of a climber, and in the future, at least from our perspective, King Toad is probably missing the secret yet another time, unfortunately, judging by the sound. Let's see. Oh, that's a secret get. Yep. You could tell that the switch would spawn a box right below that place, but as you can see, just barely. It just works if you decide to go straight for it, and strain a little bit in the correct place, of course. Hey, the secret. Yep, we finally see it's real and it's not a government hoax. Right, here come the other boxes. Showcase, not really a big deal, because okay, it's not positioned near the ledge of that one secret. As you can see, that one secret is not really difficult because you have to get to it, it's because you have to get out of it before the time runs out.
Yeah.
And it's not really like you can jump to the beginning of the level. I think you might be able to, but who would ever do that? Yeah, you're instead against the timer to get out and remain on the platform. I think it's a kind of a neat idea for secrets. I don't know how much it's overdone in other ROM hacks. Of course, this one gets a pass because it's the first one. But yeah, it does require quite some tricky jumps out of you. But it's kind of all self-contained into one area, so it's kind of quick, even with the requirement, if you have to fail one. What was the secret turn you accidentally set through? I think you mean the mystery event. It was basically a ROM hack decathlon with 10 events of random difficulty and random amounts of trolling. For example, we had stuff like Quicksand Ledge Grab Simulator, BOJ Simulator, obtain 10 stars in as fast as possible in a certain ROM hack that people haven't played much. Guess which people have made a certain YouTube comment. Actually, it was more like the channel on which the comments were made, but that's more complicated. Stuff like that. All things ROM hacking packed in one event, basically.
And it was lots of fun, even despite the technical issues, sadly, that occurred with Net64.
Yep, shoutouts. This is why we use Star Display for stuff like hardcore.
Exactly.
Which just gives us another reason and opportunity to shout Aguap out for, well, existing and making all the reliable tools out there.
Yeah, I still don't know how how I did that in the BLJ simulator.
Yeah, basically when the score is capped to speed or tied to speed, it's pretty exponential getting a higher score. I'm pretty sure that so you got like 16 or 17k during the event.
Yep.
And then later on apparently you got 33k.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been one extra long jump.
Probably.
And then your speed has been like doubled, or maybe two, because I don't remember if it's double speed or plus 50% speed. But yeah, it comes to show that BOJs are pretty broken, which is also why nah, it's not also, but one reason this ROM hack isn't broken is because there are not too many BOJs to abuse in a way that you can destroy an entire course.
However, you can still use them to destroy star requirements, but you know.
Yep. But especially in Extreme Edition, as some of us might know, you don't even need to do that because of the infamous pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah, which 125 star, I think it's not used at all because of 5C requirements, or what was the limitation with?
There's no just no entering Zatar, because for those who don't know, part of Zatar Sanctuary, which is the Bowser 3 stage, had to be moved into Bowser 2, and Lugler thought it was impossible to get into there, but it turns out that it is actually impossible to get there. It is actually possible, and so yeah, that's that's how 50 star was given birth, and thus 10 and 0 later on.
Yeah, it's less intricate in 74 because over there we just have a box clip for the Bowser 3 door, but yeah, that means basically as soon as you have access to Bowser 2 in this game, you also have access to Bowser 3 because they are just intertwined. But in general, since 125 star is the intended star count 80% for this game, which means not the minimum 80% that's possible, but the minimum 80% that the creator intended you to get to finish the game with. In order to respect that intention, you shouldn't go in the final level without having the required number of stars, because at that point you should just do a lower star category if you do that.
Or the 100% category altogether.
Yeah, because 100% you have to get everything anyway, so there shouldn't be such limitations. The Horror clip, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did quite the let's play of this game, of course with save states, but it was quite a lot of fun.
He even managed to get Lord in on Trudella Sphere a little bit.
Yeah, at the time a few years ago, that was one of the greatest things to watch ever related to ROM hacks, because, well, I mean, World is one of the OGs for pretty obvious reasons, given that this ROM hack over here is one of the OGs too.
Right,
this is why...
Pretty deplorable camera on this star, but that's fine.
Yep. The basic deal with the camera, especially in our ROM hack speedruns, is that if the camera is dog shit, then we probably have some setups to ensure that we have just enough control over it to at least get the stars, even if it doesn't look like anything. Case in point over here with those boxes, but KingToad just knows the movement. I think there's a faster one where you skip the middle core box that is on top of the other box, but that's pretty risky, especially with the camera. He should have put Bowser 3 above Bowser 2? Yeah, you see, that's probably true, but for one, that would cause problems with the background skyboxes, maybe, and for two, yeah, he just didn't think of it. I don't know. We might be able to ask him another day. Oh god, that sounds pretty influential. That LP brought you back to Twitch. I mean, we are here for the content like in this marathon, right? Because if we start discussing Twitch, yeah, I'm not doing that, that's for sure. That's quite the slippery slope. Okay, so
yeah, right now
yep,
we're just...
quite some skips to not dance with the heave-hoes, you gotta say.
Quite frankly, I would not dance with the heave-ho.
Damn, do you have Damn it.
I don't
Do
know.
you hate heave hosts?
I just don't think they're very practical to dance with.
Oh yeah, right. You would have to pick them from the side and never let them turn face first towards you. Yeah, that's quite a consideration. Okay, over here we observe something peculiar, which is this lava gap, which, yeah, suddenly the floor goes completely downwards in order to prevent you from doing exactly the skip that KingToad did. But matter of fact is, there is just enough ground to where that skip is still possible. But we probably should have put the entire thing down and forced people to a painful death of lava if they fail to do those jumps. But I mean, if all the skips were fixed, then this rock hack probably would have been much more difficult.
Yeah.
And who knows how story would have played otherwise.
That's especially true when it comes to again Bowser 3.
Oh yeah, it's just completely broken with that skip between the levels, which also kind of forced all the red coins to be in one dedicated area, which prevented Wugmort from making a stupid-ass 30+ red coin mission as the pioneer of that idea. Nope, we had to wait another few years for Treasure World to come out and make like a insane 24 red coin star.
And even then, we already got Crudel Sphere's 20 red coins.
Yeah, and it still forces a bunch of requirements. I think we are going to see a Crudel Sphere for a hot minute in this run, but luckily not the red coins. Yep. Okay, here's a skip which is hilariously the same as in 74. You jump on the cap switch, then you fly away towards the free star which is hidden in nowhere in the ground, which gives us a text box. It's a very important time save, especially at high level speedruns over here. Yeah, there's two different types of time saves in Extreme Roll Hacks basically. It's minimizing the death count and practicing as much as to make sure that you don't die very often in those speedruns, and then finally getting to the tricks which will save you the precious seconds once you're done with losing minutes to dying everywhere. Which I think that sounds a little bit like I'm trying to shit on people for dying, but that's not the case, because again, those roll hacks are made to force you to die, so yeah, it kind of comes with the territory, of course.
I flew a little too low here, so I hit the lava, and unfortunately that's a death in this part of the level.
Oh god, let's see that happen. Because, yep,
that one red coin in the...
dancing with the heave house. Over here we are dancing with the lava, and I see what you mean now.
Yeah, once I get that red coin, I'll get to why that red coin is a big problem in the start.
Atrocious?
Yeah.
I think you could use that word. Are we doing good? I think we are doing pretty good, yep.
Yeah.
This is... I don't know if this is a pacer because I don't have the KingToad splits open or something, but...
I don't have my splits open either, but I think this is alright so far, I would say this is alright. I haven't died too much. Yep,
basically. The only big deal so far was taking a little bit to start up with the Core 7 secrets, but even then, it didn't actually lose that much time because of the backups.
Having some trouble with this red coin.
And also, okay, I just read something from a few minutes ago, Seagull saying, I'll see how much I can get with the PBOJ once the dings get released. Which, yeah, that just sounds scary because I don't even know what he's referring to.
The BRJ test run, I'm assuming.
Oh, I thought it's something that would also apply to E. Just imagine.
Yeah. If the NVIC doesn't release the ROM, I can always send it to you if you want.
That sounds like a plan. Now, I don't think DMV has a reason not to release the ROM anymore, unless there's polish to do, but even then I don't think he intends to do that. I think it's fine as it is, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see in the following days, probably. Okay, so... yeah, unfortunately not too much to say over here, and I think that speaks something about the level itself, because, to be honest, it's a lava pit with like 8 towers, which are now tilted because, well, if they were upright, it would be too easy to navigate them. Oh god, that sounds like something happened with that other red coin again. And I mean, it's literally on the boundary of the level, so you are flying against out of bounds, and it might get a little bit uncontrollable.
Yeah, the controls of the wing cap over out of bounds areas is pretty janky.
Yep, because basically what out of bounds does is, surprise surprise, preventing you from getting over there. Which, with the wing cap especially, means cancelling your movement in place. But since you're still flying around, well, Oh God. Honestly, if we had asked you to do that, you probably wouldn't be able to do that as well. Missing that seventh red coin and flying between the red coin and the ground without touching either of them. That's probably more difficult than getting the red coin itself.
I had to do something pretty risky here at the end, yeah. You don't get a lot of time with the wing cat.
Yeah, glad it worked, and oh God, that looked like a set of events. I didn't expect the big fall damage, and I didn't expect the fire to be so close. Thank God for
thankfully invisibility frames do activate when you get big fall damage. If you get small fall damage, you will not have invisibility frames.
Yeah, so then it would have instead been a tortoise versus hare situation of the flame chasing King Toad with ridiculous squished speed, trying to walk away from the fire. That would have been also interesting to see, though. That's for sure.
And here, the last star just hanging in the air in the wing cap.
Yep. How high can you get? Hopefully we can answer this question right now, and it is just high enough.
Yeah. We do, of course, allow ground pound to fall a little faster.
Yep. That's also a component of just high enough, because if you're a little bit too high, you would be losing just some extra more time. It's like a pinch of salt in terms of, well, time instead, but yep. Every second matters, if nothing else, then for the style points. Okay, now are we getting a little bit of a break? Because finally we're a course that has water surrounding the level instead of lava and quicksand and death.
Oh, yeah, dude. I got the pyramid trick first try, you gotta see on stream.
Yeah, I was memeing a little bit because there's still quicksand below this, a scribble of a pyramid. You cannot really call this a proper pyramid.
Yeah.
That's like probably the most dangerous star in the level, just with the immediate chance of death. There's another thing dangerous which I think lends it out, which is the red coins. We'll get to that, and the reason they're dangerous a little bit later. Yeah, for now this is one of the skips to do the pyramid, that was for sure. You can also do it with crawling, which apparently wasn't intended.
Yeah, the intended way was just doing butt slide jump kicks up the pyramid, which sounds incredibly infuriating, especially with the aforementioned slope collision, which isn't very good.
Yep.
And here,
especially if there's walls or ceilings on the other side of the slope.
Yeah. Here I completely failed blue coin, so I'm just going for backup star.
Yeah, I think this was more of a panic long jump or something, because I don't think even you expected to get the blue coin with the long jump.
I didn't.
It's just a little bit too high. But instead, here's the top of the pyramid, which for some reason is covered with a fake wall so that you don't see that, hey, there is indeed a star on top of the pyramid structure. It's not really a pyramid. Really just, yeah, something over there, made out of sand, presumably, but well. And that's also that's epic fire that helps you to.
Okay, I just got all 3 blue coins from the switch. That rarely happens to me, because I usually have pretty janky movement. But here I just managed to pull it off.
That one looks pretty well to me, the one on stream, and yeah, I think those blue coins are some of those enigmas where your movement might vary only by a little bit, like you do something only a little bit better or worse, and it will make all the difference in how much time you have left when you reach the last blue coin, or the end of the race, so to say. Like, you could miss the last blue coin by a little bit, or you could get it with like 1 or 2 seconds to spare, and the difference would have been like one good or bad jump kick or side flip in the correct moment.
Yeah.
Now, this course is pretty interesting with the coinage, and it was pretty important to get all of the blue coins over there, because, funny story, this course has 119 coins in total. That's with the red coins, with just literally everything. And there is a section of the level which contains star 2 as well as 20 of the coins, making it basically necessary to obtain that.
And you're about to see why it was made this way in a little bit after I collect the coins from these Pokies and Chuckies over here.
Yep. Why it was made this way? Well, I doubt there's a rational explanation other than, well, now you have to do this incredibly funny set of tricks and wall kicks 2 times, bitch. Other than, you know, depriving the level out of all of its natural habitats and just other randomly laying around coins. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the area with the two chuck, yes. That's yep, it's a little bit crowded over here, as you can see, so act fast, act smart, and don't panic, basically. Because if you do panic, you are probably going to get burned. You might also waste the coins. It's all the good stuff you don't want to happen to you. Okay, 80 coins. Yep, that gives us the exact required amount to get to the 100. If we either do the red coin star or this star over here. So first off, Metal Cap underwater with Mario camera. A very good idea, because the Mario camera will try to stay exactly above Mario, which makes it a complete disaster to try and move around. Unless you're basically moving forward. King Toad is stalling over here in order to get the maximum time out of this switch and this one box, because what follows right now is quite the precarious setup. To get those pretty tight wall jumps, unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I wasn't facing the walls.
Yep. Now here's the thing, it's water and not quicksand below that entire structure, so it is retryable, but also it is punished because you cannot just get into the water, jump out of it, and start wall kicking. That's what we need the box for. So yeah, that's why now this means going for the metal cap again. Okay, this over here isn't a time loss, because again we are waiting for the metal cap to run out. Yep.
Damn.
Spicy. Yep. It's like the problems don't end with you getting on the box and initiating the wall kicks, because there are still a few stuff that need to be done as you approach the top of this section. Will we see King Toad get far enough in order to explain what those are? Oh, there we go. Yep. There's a freaking flamethrower over there, because of course there is. It isn't enough to do an arch wall kicks with the Mario camera.
Yeah.
You also have to time them.
I was a little high. I didn't mean to be so high. Yeah, it just unfortunate.
That is definitely an issue. But at the same time, it's hard to judge your height if the camera is not at the same height as you and it's not cooperating in that regard. Yep, that's basically the logic. It's not hard enough, we can make it a little bit harder. How can we make it a little bit harder? Well, add more deadly stuff over there.
Alright.
And this is why not everyone can game design. Yep, let's see what happens this time. Yeah, sorry that at this point you don't get to do much commentary, because it would be spoilers.
Well, that's...
Oh, this looks like... Oh, this looks like you were approaching the east side, but you peeped from the outside. So, yep, some more dangers. Fire splitters on this platform, because... Ooh. Let's see.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful with this fire and collecting the coins.
Yeah, this is quite the situation. It might be the first time I see such a situation. The star is peeking a little bit out of the platform, so he has to be careful to collect it.
Yeah, I could have...
With an inside position.
If I went for the ground pound after I side flipped and spawned the 100 coin star, I might have fallen off the structure, which means I would have had to do the wall kicks again. Which means going all the way over to the metal cap again to spawn the box and initiate the wall kicks.
And we don't want to see that. Luckily, it didn't happen. Now this means the red coins are free to be obtained on their own, which is perfect, because they are a little bit... Yeah, all together, all of them, just one annoyance. Should have ignored the coin star for content. Yeah, that would be content, but... I mean, we already had EE Chaos for the content.
It was almost really good movement, but I just did not press A.
But I think it's nice, because that means the level is capable of... Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
But even then you don't lose all of your progress, so you only need to do the main mountain, I guess, section again. 5 KT event and the 5th EE event.
It is definitely not the 5th EE event. If you you probably mean the 5th 74 event.
Then yeah, it might even be more than the 5th 74 event.
I'd say it's more like the 6th or 7th.
Yep. But I mean, we are technically 1 year late, but I think it was a good celebration of the 11th anniversary of... Wait, 11th? Yeah, it is the 11th anniversary of 74. It would turn 12 sometime this year.
The last few years have been quite eventful for Super Mario 74.
And I'm glad the saga is coming to a close now.
Yeah.
Now we have the well-respected original, which can also retire gracefully, and some people can still play it from time to time so they wish.
Especially
and there's
with
the remakes, which should cover all tastes.
Yeah, especially with SM74 having gotten a quality of life update not so long ago.
That's also a thing. That way you can play the infamous Sunny Beach level without having to collect 100 out of 100 coins in the level. Oh, you got the swag with under construction, getting the star and then clipping on the pure itself. That's another time save of actually a few seconds of falling down. Which is pretty good after those tight wall kicks. Okay, now let's prove this star name wrong. You shall drown. What do you think about this, KingToad? How about we don't?
Yeah, let's not. I think they'll lose.
Yeah, sounds like a me.
They'll lose time, probably.
So, how difficult was it for you to memorize the maze over here?
Well, I'd say the first time I played it took about half an hour to really know which paths leads where and which paths are actually relevant for the red coins.
Fair enough. Because there's I don't know if there's dead ends, but there's definitely ways to get stuck in a loop and keep going through the same places you already went, which would not be very productive. And then it's interesting that we have an underwater red coins maze with an abysmal camera, but then there's also a few overwater red coin sections, so it's barely bearable, feels like.
Yeah. I'd say the reason I can remember like something like this maze, for example, the fact I can remember it so much probably has to do with well, it has to do with the fact that I have quite the history with this hack. For those who don't know, this is the first ROM hack I ever played. Very, very bad choice for a first ROM hack, some of you might say.
Yeah, my condolences.
But yeah, at the time what got me to play this was Frame Perfection's E157 speedruns on YouTube. Specifically the highlights.
I hope you mean the skillful speedrun highlights. And
yeah,
highlights,
of course.
Both play their own problem.
The 157 star speedruns in barely over 4 hours, which now even reach under 3 hours and 30 minutes, which is insane.
For real. Like, they don't miss with those speedruns. Deaths are rare, and even in the hardest levels, it's...
Yeah.
Yep, it's down to what I would basically call mastery.
Alright, after all that swimming, we're finally done with course 5, 7, 8, excuse me.
Yup, you're definitely done with some of those courses.
I'm done with 7 and 8, I haven't done 5 yet, but...
Yeah, we're just throwing numbers around, but courses 5 and 8 share a very peculiar property, and it is that both have messes of underwater mazes.
Yep.
So I understand the confusion in KingToad's brain there.
Here we grab the first MIPS, and we're going to Fireflower Fields. A very red level.
I wonder why. Yeah, that seems to be a common theme with this ROM hack. If the level is red, maybe that means there's lava in it. I wonder if we are actually going to see that. Yep, I saw a random video of Fugmore talking about 74, then tried to patch the ROM like 10 years ago and watched a 30-minute long tutorial. Today patching ROMs is so easy. To be honest, yes and no, because I don't remember. It was definitely more confusing to obtain the patches and then the weird-ass magic wizardry tools that are supposed to patch the ROMs, but the process was mostly the same. PPF-O-Matic and flips are actually pretty similar in the process that you need to put a ROM, you need to put a patch, and then you get a ROM hack to play.
I feel like most of us started with not being able to patch BPS files, though. At least past a certain date. Because
yep, that kind of depends on where you join the community.
For people who have been around for very long, they even had to deal with PPF patches. From what I understand, that was even more complicated. Or, well, even more complicated. You know.
Well, kind of. Yeah.
Which would take a longer time to learn than BPS patching does.
Yeah, if you were to actually timeline the situation with playing Super Mario 64 on hacks, it would be a pretty weird story, because yes, there was a period where PPF patches would reign, at least for certain ROM hacks, because they were distributed in that fashion. But also, I think at the same time, or at the time a little bit afterwards, there would also be just the Z64 files just available to download and you're ready to go, no patching. I think some people have uploaded ROM hacks in both fashions for some reason. You have a patch and you have the ROM. Which,
in fact, even I myself downloaded Z64 of Extreme Edition when I started off.
Mm-hmm. So you were here just in time, I guess.
Yeah.
For that little bit of an old period, and then one day, flips and BPF. Did I seriously say BPF? BPS became the norm, and suddenly every single ROM hack was cast into a patch as to avoid Nintendo's wrath, even though I personally believe they wouldn't mind unless your ROM hack became like Kaze tier popular. PPF patches were created for PS1 games. Yeah, I could imagine that, because I think the PPF-O-Matic 2 says something like provide an ISO file instead of specifically a PPF patch, or was it an SM64 ROM? So yeah, it definitely wasn't made for SM64, and I wonder how they came with the patch format. But that's just a bit of ancient history, so yep, that's behind us today. We are back to patches, but at least they are designated for Super Mario 64. Okay, that's a moment with the red coin.
Yeah, the red coins here are very tricky because if you don't know, there's 5 of them are above pits, which you can pretty much just not recover from. Maybe you can recover from one of them, but yeah, basically just avoid falling in the pits.
Yeah, those nice looking flowers, if it wasn't for the red fog that gouges my eyes out, honestly. Yeah, they are full with random sized holes, which are basically designed to make you fall into death. And that's the whole deal with the way too easy Wookiee red coins, because you just walk in the flowers expecting to, well, obtain those red coins, and surprise, surprise, you are actually about to fall the entire level now. Okay, so we saw KingToad obtain some coins over hills over there, some of which are way too steep for Mario to actually slide off of, which also required making ground pounds in order to climb upwards doing jump kicks. Just the jump kicks are not sufficient enough. They are not too complicated, so you had to add extra moves to the process. Okay, after that piranha plant, you can get back on the slope. Oh god, it's one of those triple jumps.
Yeah,
which honestly I don't appreciate because of the false ledge gaps.
I opted in favor of not doing it.
Yeah, I think that was a good call, because we could see he got back up here immediately after deciding to... Wait, there's a coin line over there? What?
Yeah, that's the thing about this level. There's some coin lines which I feel like no one knows about.
Yeah, was that intended to be found? What we were?
Yeah,
that's one of the moments. It would be really good if he was here and let us know what's going on. That's just quite a curious situation. Interesting, I would say.
And speaking of, if you do want more detailed information about some of the quirks of some courses in this game, I highly suggest you watch the Super Mario 74 and 74 Extreme Edition behind the scenes video on Lord's channel. They're a great watch to just look back on the history of what it was like to make these games, and see what was going on.
Even though it's abridged,
yeah,
it gives commentary over every level with a little bit of a modern perspective, because after all, these ROM hacks have aged, so it's good to see more of an updated look of hey, this over there, maybe if I had the experience I have nowadays, I could have done it differently. But then there's also some highlights, like this wooden platform section, which I think it was a pretty good parkour section in 74, and it remains a pretty good parkour section in Extreme Edition. The difficulty is up to scale enough. You do have to jump on very tiny bits of platforms. but it's not the most insane thing in the world, and it's you do lose your progress if you fall, but it doesn't hurt as much as just being consumed by quicksand if you just misstep a little bit.
Yeah.
You can recover from some of these jumps.
One thing I also do like about some levels in the Extreme Edition that is not really the case in most other Kaiser ROM hacks is you can take some liberties as to how you want to get some as to how you can choose to get some stars, you know.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. It's yep. I wonder why I didn't. Oh, never mind. That's not one of the big mistakes. That's also proof of what I was talking about earlier. You fell off this platform where you just need to wall kick a few times and return to over here. You didn't really fail the actual section that the game wants you to do to obtain the star. You just failed the start of it, and this is not punishable by death immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, also the fact that indeed, whether there's skips or there's just every once in a while multiple intended ways to do stuff, it's nice to see that you can pick your poison in multiple places in this game.
Exactly.
Like, this structure is so broken, I mean in a literal visual sense, not broken gameplay-wise, that it's hard to tell what you need to do, well, gameplay-wise, or what's intended to do, but that doesn't matter because you can do what you just happen to figure out it's the most convenient in you.
Alright, here we're gonna want to actually go inside the giant lava pits that await below the flowers for 1 star, which requires us to carefully maneuver on some thin platforms.
Yep, because, well, I guess that's both a good and a bad thing, but you can, in a sense, recover if you fall in some of those holes, because you'll notice, hey, there's some more structures over here. And those are some pretty random secrets, but what this town wants you to do is basically traverse over all of these tight and narrow poles. You will obtain the secrets that way, and then you want to return to a small alcove for the star resides.
There is a reason why these secrets are there, though. It's, you know... Because as you see, you can just lava bounce to the platform where the star spawns. If the star was just here, it would be way too easy to just come down from another hole, take 1 lava bounce, and just collect the star like it was, you know, like it's nothing.
Yep, that's definitely true, though that also only explains why the secrets exist to prevent you from cheating the star, which is also the case with the All-Brusphere Intense Challenge in regular 74, but it doesn't explain why the secrets are there from a standpoint of the player finding the secrets, as in they could have been marked with extra objects like coins or win cap boxes. Okay, I think it's time for the infamous windmill or windmill, depending on how you're feeling today. Yep, it's basically climb on top of this windmill, which is mildly more annoying than the 74 counterpart, and then do a precise triple jump to sneak the star in the air. Or snipe is a better word for it.
Yeah. Yeah, when this...
And of course... Yes?
When the start doesn't want to go well, it really will not go well. You either get it first try or you get it like 5th, 6th try.
Yep, there's just so much ground you can land on, or so little is the correct phrasing here, and then you can either ledge cap or overshoot the platform, which is usually what you will be doing. And for extra annoyances, you shouldn't be left to think for a while, you shouldn't have time to really set up your jump, so here's some fire spewers to burn you and make your day a living hell.
And also you've got to hit a, I'm pretty sure a frame perfect import to jump off of the windmill.
Oh god, I mean the platform is so tight that I can't imagine that if you're on it on 1 frame then you're probably falling off on the next frame. But if it's really frame perfect, then at least that makes me feel well for doing a frame perfect trick to obtain the star.
It might be 2 frames, I'm not sure. I think in some cases it might be 2 frames if you're diagonal enough. But then being diagonal means you might just not reach the star by not going far enough.
But well, there we go. The windy mill with zero wind, but all the annoyance is over. Which leaves us with the King Bob fight.
I just fell right into his arms.
Oh god. Yep. We are going to see wife in action in a little bit after this was said, at least on my end. Yep, so... Oh god, that ace calls to the King Bob, and... Oh, you still have momentum. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So welcome to what is possibly the second hardest King Bob fight, at least in all Throne hacks, if not in Throne hacks in general. Number one,
the hardest going
madness.
Oh, I was actually going to say the Super Mario 65 Bowser fight, King Bob fight, but yeah, I forgot about King Bling Bling.
Yeah, that might make an infamous top 3. It's interesting that EE, which is of higher quality than both of those Throne hacks, ends up on this, but well, as you can see, barely enough ground to just throw the King Bob without actually throwing him in the lava or down the stairs, which would not count the hit because, yes, Super Mario 64 is a great designed game in that regard, and also 3 fire spewers, so you cannot actually move at all without dancing with that. Okay, that's some extra interesting info on the BPS patches and how they came to be based on their apparently sister format of IPS, respectively Lunar Ips instead of Flips for the two, while KingToad is getting some 3 stars in the overworld.
Yep, and
I mean, compared to what we just saw, yeah.
Yeah, and that is gonna heal off Overworld 1, which means now we can move on to Overworld 2, and being immediately greeted by the replacement to Tower of the East, which is Lake of the Lords.
Yep, it looks way less towery nowadays.
Which, fun fact about this level, Lake of the Lords, is there was a normal version planned for it for Super Mario 74, but apparently I heard Langlord had some troubles importing the level or so he had to make something completely new from scratch.
Yep. And holy damn, because I wonder what the regular version of this abomination looks like. And I'm only saying abomination because it's a bunch of walls suspended in midair for the sake of making some insane platforming challenges for you. Speaking of this eyeball, which is better off not existing, because yeah, we want to prepare a nice little chain long jump over here, or
yeah, no, chain long jumping
in general
is actually worse. I always do the mistake though. It's just instinctual.
Fair enough. As you can see from the first eyeball, you can navigate around it, but you don't have a lot of space to navigate around it at all. You're operating on a pretty tight limit, so it's better to not have it there. And then there's some very tiny slopes which are so bad to navigate. There's a box behind one of them, which probably just allows you to skip the slopes in a completely different way.
Yeah.
But luckily this strategy is the least painful one, I should say. 10 years after, yeah, I guess we cannot go entirely EE without mentioning 10 years after for a little bit.
Which, yeah, 10 years after is a remix of both Super Mario 74 and Extreme Edition made by Link Crash, which is honestly pretty good. I like the game. I like the game.
Some expert insight, please. How does it fare with the difficulty? Because it's a mixture between a casual and a kaizo, so it teeters somewhere in between.
Yeah. Most people.
How much does it peak?
Well, the peak of the game is the Grandmaster's Gold, which is actually a completely original level made for the hack, but acts as a mishmash of most of the levels from Super Mario 74. Sort of like, you know, a medley level, something like New Star Bowser 3, for example.
Yeah, the mandatory medley level.
Yeah, something we tend to see, quite frankly, a little too much in hacks, I would say.
Yep, I definitely agree to that. The trend was started, especially in Extreme Raw hacks, with Treasure World and Sukden's Dream, which, yeah, one of the first medley levels ever, because, well, I would have missed New Star if I say the first medley level, and coincidentally, it was the hardest star existing in ROM hacks for quite a while.
Yep.
So there is a common theme over there, and it's basically stop making your levels too long, especially by means of putting 15 levels together into one, guys.
I think definitely the one of the first examples you would point to also is Mario's New Earth and the Void from that game.
Yeah, which I'm not going to discuss on stream because I'm risking getting cancelled by an angry mob if I do that. Yeah, it's basically the same principle applies to it. Wait, is there really no red coin under the bridge?
Yeah, no, there's not. That is that I know, shocker, but no.
Yeah, that violates at least 17 ROM hack walls, which is like, come on now. Yeah, there should always be a red coin under the bridge. It's not the case over here. We did see a bunch of other red coins, which definitely showcase one peculiar property. There's like 4 red coins in the same position earlier where KingToad got both them and the star. So it's basically 1.5 stars just for doing a couple of extra wall jumps. Yeah, so the red coin is safe because he respawns in the same overworld level. That's...
Yeah,
I think it's an actual overworld in this one. Is it?
Wait, which level?
Lake of the Worlds that you're in right now.
Yeah.
Because Tower of the East couldn't be figured out in the original SM74, so it was a side level disguised as an overworld. But over here,
no, actually, it is a level in this game. My bad.
Fair enough. Yeah, so the thing is the red coins get saved, so getting other stars also means it's a good idea to grab the red coins and basically piece together that one extra. Okay, so here comes the old supply slide. Yep, that's the name. Yes, you can see this will totally look like a slide, especially this section that KingToad is trying to pull off, that looks more like a hopscotch than sliding.
Yeah.
And I think that was a sound of pain. So...
Exactly.
Well. Oh, yep. So basically it's the semi-intended way to obtain this star behind this wall, but unfortunately this wall jump wasn't one of the best available. It's a really precise wall jump that you need to do over there if you want to grab the star specifically from that position. There's an even more insane strat that I'm a little bit surprised and also a little bit glad that you're not going for, though maybe as we speak you decide to go for that as well.
I might consider going for it like one time, but I'm not sure that I should.
Yep, for the fans of course. Because it's quite a lot faster and quite a lot harder as it tends to be with those stuff. Yep, unfortunately, we are high up and the fall is deadly for this. So.
Yeah, that was my one attempt, guys, sorry.
Oh, yep. We are going to see some stuff right now then.
It was a very, very bad attempt, let me tell you, but...
Well, let's see if we see enough about the trick. Oh, you know what's a shame? You didn't manage to continue with the actual slide out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Now, we have had KingToad marathon box before, it's fine.
God dang it, this stage is kicking my ass again.
Oh damn. Well, luckily you have like 16 spare lives right now, which is done with a very good playthrough so far and extra 1-ups and 100 coin star lives, so yep. You got a bit of a leeway. Oh, that's... I see what you mean. I see. I mean, again, tight platforms with fire splitters. Who doesn't enjoy that? Especially if they don't have to actually play it. Which, well, that's why we have a skillful runner over here to showcase how it's done, so you at home don't need to worry about all of this crap. Right, alright. Yep, it's always interesting to see fires basically getting stuck on the edge of the platform versus busting right into a wall and disappearing. Oh man. Yep, preparation for another attempt over here. This star has to go. It is fast if you get it, but of course there's always the chance that it goes like a difficult extreme roll hack star. AK, you die a lot. Yep, that was a little bit too much of an angle for wall kick, which... Yep, it's basically the compromise we were looking for over here. The maximum deviation, such that you are still able to wall kick, but you get all the distance possible. That's what this star demands from you. Again, this is not the entirely intended way. We are still doing the path up to the hopscotch with the fire spitters, but there is a switch a couple of jumps below that you need to press, and then you need to return back from the switch on timed boxes in order to cover the distance to the star.
That is...
If you're doing the star attempt.
That is very hard, and yeah.
Yep, I don't think I've seen people do this basically ever.
Oh my god.
They have probably done this, but it has probably been almost the 10 years that this ROM hack has existed for.
I know Cartoon does it, because he thinks it's more consistent than the other ways.
He might be right though, even though I want to laugh at the idea because, you know.
Yeah.
So he actually does it in speedruns?
Yeah.
Ooh. Right, this was not the nicest attempt at an low kick angle, but at least it makes for a good recovery. So that's a wife spared and some more seconds from falling off the level. Which is definitely a good thing.
This star is really, really precise.
Yep, it might take a little bit. A few attempts.
Ah, dang it!
Oh.
Man, I always spend so long on this star, man.
Yeah, that's I mean, I don't know how to answer that because it's basically...
Yeah.
I cannot say stuff like a skill level and skill issue because that's just rude. It's just there's this couple of people like Frame and Crouton who just have it more down to science and consistency how to deal with stars like this.
Yeah.
But it's definitely far from everyone. It's not free or anything. It's...
God! Fuck.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm actually getting a little frustrated at this right now.
Yep, basically Void, that's true. Shorter categories make for more mandatory faster starts, especially at the top competitive level, because again, 50 star of this game, world records is, or I don't know if it's just the world record or the top 2 runs, it's below 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Which if you do the math, it's getting very close to 2 stars per minute in an extreme run hack. That's insane.
The lag spikes really aren't helping right now.
Damn. Yep. And there's not much we can do over here other than just watching.
I know. It's not your fault.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't say it's your fault either, it's just the game is being also a little bit of a bitch now. But do we have any hype man in the chat? Hopefully that helps somehow.
Sorry.
That's some... I have to say, that's some sensual noises.
I always get a little weird whenever I try to not rage when getting frustrated.
Yeah, but that's understandable, if only because I would also get similarly weird. Oh god, that was a... Yep, that was a cut attempt, really. That's possible, but who goes for world record? Yep, world record is not really a contest for any mere human out there. With 74 Extreme Edition, it's us mere mortals watching Frame and Crouton battle it out.
Yep.
Frame and Crouton. Yep, Void, it was basically a rhetorical question and I just answered it in the commentary. God damn it.
No, man. Ah.
Oh. The shame over here is I cannot really even properly empathize with you because by the time you react to the failed attempt, I'm still just watching you get to the fire spitter, so... Plank, basically. God, that was so close! Yep, I get your reaction though. Really. No one plays active anymore. Yep, that's true, and I mean, with EE, I think it's justified because they have kind of put the game to rest.
Yeah.
Like, they can continue grinding it, but I don't know if there's much of a point behind it. It's not like it's going to win them any money or
Yeah.
that much satisfaction the
I mean,
way it is with vanilla players.
At this point, any other speedrunner is just gonna, you know, they're gonna speedrun it for personal reasons and not for a world record.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, in that sense, it's been enjoyable to see other people who are just getting into EE and are getting some sweet PBs, especially in the range of the 30-something minutes, who are doing well for themselves. They might not be able to compare to world record, but they are doing pretty well for being able to beat this hard game and kind of fast. Yep. Another greedy wall kick angle, we could call it. You gotta try it. It's just...
That's always the problem with this star. You either don't get enough angle or you get too much angle. And then when you get enough angle, there's always the thing of hitting the star, which is not a guaranteed thing, as you saw earlier.
Yeah, quite unfortunate because you need some good positioning and it also helps to get a specific frame on the rating. Because the watches an hour of this estimate is taken by this star. I sure hope that isn't the case. I might even say maybe you could take some sort of a break and get like the free star or the star at the bottom of the slide to... Wait, that's not even a thing here. Well, reds, I guess. Or, wait, it is? Nah, I don't remember my content anymore.
Well, there's the
star at the bottom of the slide is a thing.
Yeah, there's a star at the end of the slide, and then there's also the star that's hidden behind the big, you know, structure, the big building.
Yeah, which you might want to invest into one of those if you feel it's been too much with
lag,
this.
dude.
Oh, God. There's so much lag, my stream buffered. Damn it.
God, I get really nervous when a star like this goes this bad.
Yeah, that's why I keep mentioning trying other stars, because I don't know how much it helps you, but it might be the thing right now if you just have a little bit of a success for a second and then return with a fresher head to this.
Yeah.
Or fresher fingers, whatever part is responsible for the action. Yep. Good point, Askari. That's why you loved watching TK. There was a time with just consistency and baby starts you can get close to world record, which is also what sometimes rogue hack speedruns, at least the ones which are somewhat contested, are also just as fun as vanilla speedruns, maybe more.
Yeah.
Because, well, the whole thing is a competition, but the vanilla top level is, well, a little bit too much. In rogue hacks, it's good to see that we can compare players with consistency with players that go for the risky starts. Because you're not a task, you're a human, you're not going to get all the insane stats in a speedrun, especially this long. There's always going to be wiggle room when time saves. Okay, another attempt. Things are completely silent. Oh. Yep. Just all fingers crossed right now.
My God.
Especially with situations like this that I can hear right now. Yep, that's all I can offer right now. I can offer the words that I have on commentary and in the chat some funny emotes.
I'll take it, gladly. Oh my God. This is awful.
Figure that consistency will come with experience. That's a thing, but again, it's like most talents, I would say. Some people just have some more of it and by default are better than it, and of course some of it is crafted with experience. Probably most of it. But I mean, we have for example Katse, who has sure as hell played like every single rogue hack out there, and that's a fuck ton of experience. But at the same time, I do believe he just has somewhat of a talent that not everyone has by default regarding consistency. It's a mix of both. Unless they are legitimately so inconsistent, which, yep, that also depends on the strat, and we do have also a bunch of people in the community finding unreasonably inconsistent strats that basically just exist for the sake of existing. Yep. I have a feeling that someone who's dropping a first time chat expects us to read his name, but, or their name, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be the case. Have a nice day too, though. We are talking about the first arch with a precision beyond that. Well, yeah. There's just so much intricacies, and a lot of them just show in Kaizo's.
God.
So I guess I can just summarize it like that, guys. This is what happens after Dark. It's either the biggest raves with, well, the chaos content, or it's the really tough shit, where at some point we just can't help but sit back and watch in silence. And probably in sleepiness, I don't know. I mean, though, to be honest, this is still a good pace. Even with this going on, this is still something that... Yep, it's not always going to be like that. Like, there are still hard stars remaining towards the end of the run, and hard things to do in general. We still have yet to see Bowser 2 itself. But finally, there are a couple of easy stars remaining, even in this very course, that we are just waiting to see after this shit gets conquered. And finally just stars which are basically like hidden star, go find me, and it's a couple of easy jumps and the star count will go up again. SM64 after Dark, absolutely. Oh,
I don't think
I think at this point it would be good to see if you can recover. Oh, I thought you would be able to have an attempt at the slide.
No.
Okay.
I don't think the star's ever gone this valley before.
Okay, I guess I have to dash the chat, then fair enough. Sorry for my assumption, and... Yep, you are coming at quite the moment if this is your first row hack to witness. Again, we are in quite the tough moment right now, because this one is pretty difficult, as you might be able to see, and this is one of the stars that definitely doesn't forgive attempting it. It just doesn't want to be collected in this case. And yeah, the stars have eyes, so obviously they must also have sentience in that kind of sense.
Sorry, I'm just...
Yep. I mean, I could make a joke right now, but it's really not going to fit. That's not the time.
It never ends, man.
Oh god, oh, that's... every single time. The closest attempts hurt because, well... it's just that a little bit that remains. Yeah, I guess the situation is so tough right now that should we talk about Bowser's Quicksand Pit first star? Just to offset the way to something else that at least I think he won't be trying to get. Yeah, because I hope BQP Reds are not in 125 star.
They are not, they are not, don't worry.
So this is not a playback of a video, this is a live stream. We have the runner over here, which is KingToad. You can say hi.
Yes! Finally!
Yes. Oh, that's much better than a hi. I think we are about to see the successful attempt. And there's Moshi64 who you are listening to right now, doing some extra commentary and taking off the work while KingToad is getting the stars and providing us with this quality content. Yeah, it's wife is the short answer. Yep, that's the Star Snipe, finally. There we go. Now we can continue with more of this, but easier.
Honestly, I would go as far as to say that star is harder than Red Coins just because of that one jump that can just screw you up in so many different ways.
And that might very well be possible. Honestly, I remember getting both this star and the Red Coins as one of the latest stars I've got in EE. Honestly, I would rather do Red Coins again. I would rather do Red Coins again many times. It's like, this is a one-trick star. You need to get the one trick to get it successfully. If you play like just for safe stateless completion and not for a speedrun, it doesn't even hurt that much to reset. Like you need to get it once in your lifetime or something.
Yeah.
But then the Red Coins are just more enjoyable, and to be honest the movement is better, because you have a little bit more liberty. I think we are seeing the Red Coins, so
yep.
You will see what I mean. The slide is tough, there's holes all over the place, but you can still move more freely for the Red Coins than for what we just saw. Yep, there is more in this level, because I think this is the first star that KingToad attempted, so we have yet to see all other stars in this level, and there's 3 of them. So here's the Red Coins. Yep, first one on one of those boxes that I mentioned earlier. It is the only required box in that sense. And the rest of the red coins are suspended above the slide. Fun fact about slides, slide collision makes you slide immediately, which sounds a little bit stupid and obvious, but I think you're seeing the visual effect of it right now. Unless you're standing on completely flat ground, Mario will be sliding either on his butt or his belly.
Yeah.
And then you have much less control. Yep, some more fire, because otherwise it wouldn't be dangerous enough. We need some more spice with those, with that fire.
No! To the end with the stage, to the end!
Yep. Apparently, Slide is taking no prisoners today and it's taking all the victims. Yep, because here's the last red coin. Guess what's below that red coin? That's right, it's quicksand.
The only one in the stage.
There's a couple of ways to get this red coin, like those types of jumps. You want to get this red coin as late as possible and do the wall kick already before the star spawns, because that involves a cutscene and afterwards your camera will be fucked. That's what KingToad was trying to avoid, and in a way he succeeded a little bit too well, overshooting the red coin and then failing to actually recover from the wall jump. That's unfortunate. Yep, 7 out of 8 reds, and then it all depends on that one jump at the end, so I guess what I saw earlier.
Now, if I got the wall kick, I would have been fine. It's just I mistimed. It happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, in that sense, it's one last jump to the set of jumps, which again, honestly, is not as difficult as that one jump to get the star over here.
That's the thing for, like, you know, not even just precisely SM64 video games, just for everything. You're not gonna be 100% consistent at everything, no matter how much you practice.
Yep, and honestly that's what makes speedruns interesting, because otherwise, with 2 assisted speedruns and super plays and showcases, it's still pretty fun, because you are using and abusing everything the game has as a superhuman to make the precise inputs and do cool stuff, but as a human it's nice to see what you can do with your own bare hands.
As you can see here, I've lost all of my lives that I've collected in Overworld 1.
Yep, unfortunately we are down to the regular set of lives, so basically,
which
if KingToad was to reset at this point, he would have about the same number of lives.
Yeah, I'm probably going to reset soon anyways, and you're going to see that, later in the run. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about already.
Yeah, it should be the Koopa race, but let's see if we can get there without a game over. I would be 100% consistent this actually. Yup, Wolski is one of those tasks that I'm talking about. Absolutely. I hope we see a Wolfscreen of 74EE next SRM, commentated by KingToad. That would be certainly flipping the table. Fun fact about the slide terrain collision, it's so slippery, I just cannot understate this enough, that even that timed switch that KingToad is pressing, if you stay on the slanted sides of the switch, you will start sliding.
Yeah.
Like, it's an object, but it's not exempt from the slide terrain. The game just wants to not keep you still in one place when it comes to that terrain. Yep, Gigi. Pretty sure this would be easy to do while jumping. Alright. It is official. God, you'll love to see it. KingToad could commentate your wife.
I'm not sure you would love. I'm not sure you would like that, especially when my brain starts getting a little funky.
Nah, I don't. I mean, I don't know if Woskis watched the EE Chaos run yesterday, but I would take a chance and say he knows what he's going into, and that's why he's suffering.
Yeah. So this time, you see, I actually did not fail the wall kick.
Alright, let's see what that looks like. Because again... Oh, that's a moment. Because yeah, that's quite the specific red coin, because again, you're trying to avoid getting killed not by the red coin itself, because the wall kick itself is actually easy, but by the camera change. Which is one of those ridiculous moments in wrong hack speedrunning. Yep, with the backflip like an absolute Chad. I'm even gonna say it in chat, because that's worth it. Okay, and at this point that leaves us with the 3 stars in this level. You see that star that KingToad was aggressively avoiding while trying to get the red coin? Yep, that's our content. We wanna get that one, And we also want to get the other one, which, okay, let's see. Oh my god. Yep. Maybe that was salvageable by a tiny little bit, but it was going to be difficult because that was not a good angle to fall off. That was unnecessary base, that's exactly how I would describe it. Yep, okay, that's a good one. You're getting maximum horizontal distance and you don't even hit the fire. That's going to make our so-called free star. Now, why am I so insisting on calling this star free? Well, again, if you're playing casual and not in a speedrun sense, you can just drop off the level. And if you know the star is located over here, you can just get it as long as you know how to jump kick up slopes. Which is one of the easier tricks to learn in Mario 64. Voice so energetic, goddammit. I hope you mean King Toad, because he has definitely shown some energy and keeps doing so. Oh, wait. Oh, I must be misremembering that because I just don't remember that wall kick, even though it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I don't go for the more risky strat there.
Okay, that gets us out of the old supply site, finally. And do you want to know what the time is at this point, or would I not be making you a favor to mention that?
No, you can go ahead.
You just passed the 2-hour mark with this.
Well, I was expecting worse, honestly, with that slide. I was expecting like 2:15 or 2:20.
Well, yep, I mean, you played pretty well in most levels, it's just the slide that had a different take on this. And holy shit, visual warning, yep, I know I'm dropping this a little bit late, but I mean, it's not an outright seizure, but good luck seeing anything in this level. I think all we can see right now is blue, and yep, enjoy that, because we will be here for a while. That's right, it's what we in the industry, aka I and on occasion some other people, like to call fog cap. Because, as you can see, we sure have fog, and it sure looks like crap. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now, enjoy the remainder of your eyes as they get destroyed.
If I'm not mistaken, I think fog crap comes from the Foggy 4 stage in Star Range 5, right?
Yep, absolutely. It's probably not even me who patented the fog crap, but it definitely stuck from there. Like, that one has actual fog, this one just has blue overlaid over every single platform in the level. Go have fun. Alright, thanks for stopping by over here, and we hope you come back for, well, some other runs. We still have an entire day tomorrow of the marathon running. That's if your eyes can recover in the meantime after seeing this, yup, that's for sure. And unfortunately, this is another example of the camera being trash in this game, because, well, if you try to do wall kicks, especially arch wall kicks with Mario camera, no ground below you, yeah, it's just gonna fall all the way down to hell. Vanish Cap best stage in the game. Oh, those are some fighting words. I see we're getting spicy again.
Frick. The fact is, the camera can sometimes turn the wrong way when you don't expect it.
Yep, and the wrong way basically means 180 degrees.
Yep.
Because if you wall kick for a while, the camera will kind of go below you, and that means, well, this. Quite unfortunate that it had to be showcased immediately after pointing it out. But that's the marathon look. If you mention something, then it's going to happen because the worst things must happen. Yep. Still waiting for this star to fall, similar to the slide star. And again, this is probably the hardest one in the level.
God dang it! I hate this star.
Yep. Again, if King Toad gets this star, then he will get more or less an easier time and a more pleasant time getting some of the other stars in the level. Unfortunately, right now it's the next roadblock in the way. And also, mind you, this is the intended way to get this star, which that's saying quite something. There's another less intended way to get this star, which basically involves slightly fewer arches, and you don't need to count on RNG to have a good camera at the end to get the star without failing. But it's also much more ridiculous.
It lagged.
The types of got the camera for the wall jumping. I know, right? I think not even save states will save you from the agony, because you can do save states between each wall kick technically, but the camera sucks all the same, so Yeah, you are going to fail over and over again, even if you were to break the star into its individual jumps. And unfortunately, Vanish Cap in conjunction with the slide spells game over for our runner today. That was sure a set of events. So now let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, overall 2 hasn't been going very good. Especially with the lag, can you please stop?
Oh,
okay, God, finally. It took a whole game over, but, you know.
Yep, that was the usual RNG manipulation. You know how it is. As a seasoned speedrunner, it had to happen. Now, yep. Now the camera gods will be in your favor, even though that one wasn't. Yep, there we go. It is finally done. Now we can continue with similarly difficult wall jumps, but basically not as many and not over that camera with a single jump. And also, I'm trying hard to remember if there's 3 stars over here, but it's kind of like not really. Like each star has at least 1 jump of something in it.
Well, there's
also, yeah,
there's 1 star that's pretty free. The rest are they do have 1 hard jump at least.
Yeah, kind of. And here's the Vanish Cap switch. You are able to see it because it is not influenced by the fog crab that is covering the entire level.
That is because
I mean, that is if you do have the ice remaining.
That is because the cap switch is actually an object and not part of the level geometry. And objects do not get affected by the fog usually.
Which, thank God that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, one example about objects and fog. TikTok Walk in Vanilla, the fog is hard-coded to the object, so we get the opposite effect in ROM hacks. Everyone who reuses TikTok Walk objects, well, I think almost everyone, does not know how to remove the fog, especially in the old ROM hacks, so they do have fog while nothing else in the levels usually does. Because they were not intended to be used outside of that one level.
Also, that star you just saw 30 seconds ago, yeah, that's just a leap of faith. You kinda just have to go for that, and then get a good ground
for once,
pound.
the fact that there's a... Yeah, for once, the fact that there's a slope, that there's a wall on the other side of the slope is abused to just walk up the slope, pass through it, and immediately stop to snipe the star in midair. So with that being said, yup, as you can see, we are gonna do some re-climbs because there is still 1 juicy star in this section, and red coins, but I don't remember if red coins make the cut here.
I used to get red coins in 125, but I cut it from the red in favor of a star in course 12.
Oh god, that's gonna be interesting to see because that's like... Yeah,
it's just because
that's like replacing the fireplace with the furnace or something like that.
It's basically just replacing a slower but easier star with a faster but harder star. It's, you know, risk versus reward.
Yeah, that's what I would expect from course 12. So, yep, stepping on top of those platforms over there with the grades, because you see, in the original 74 there would be a switch. You would pass through those with Vanish Cap, and then you would step on timed boxes which are in between those like grades. This is not the case in EE anymore. There are no boxes because that would be too easy. That means also they are basically solid walls that you cannot use for anything, including wall jumping. So that's why you need to navigate to the roofs of those structures instead.
Yeah.
Okay, this is, I think, the 3-star also you just got.
Yeah, there's only 1 Vanish Cap in this level. It's here in this section, which we're not going to use it at all because we can... Well, actually, we're going to use it, but in non-conventional way. We're actually going to jump off of it so that we can reach a higher platform. As you just saw.
Which, interestingly, is a cheese that also happens in the original 74, and it was not really removed from EE, it just happens to work.
Yep.
It is tight, but that's par for the course, and at this point it's still easier than what we had to witness with the arches.
Alright, and here we're gonna go straight to Bowser 2, Bowser's Quicksand Pit. Now, this level is quite, you know, quite infamous for the Red Coin Star.
Yes, this level invented mandatory firsties! Good job, Lord.
And I
Sorry
got
to say,
killed
but...
by light again. God dang it.
That's the history. And if you don't know what Bowser's Quicksand Pit might have as the main theme of the level, well, here's your hint. Basically all of the ground that King Toad is not stepping on right now. One meme race attempt.
That's...
Would you? Oh.
Yeah. I will go for one.
Alright, 1. Yep. For the fans, for the jarp.
Oh, with this lag, it's gonna be awful.
Well... Now, we're gonna pretend that the whack frames give you extra frames to first hit.
That was a good enough attempt.
Right, let's see it. It sounds like your typical attempt would be with the first hit, but... Yeah, how does it go? Oh, yep. I mean, that is kind of difficult. What was the first hack to use mandatory quicksand ledge grabs? Oh, Treasure World.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah, as you can see, every single of the OG extreme ROM hacks kind of started a ridiculous trend. And yet we still love them because they weren't ones to abuse it and overuse it.
Yep.
Go figure. Even though this first pit is already ridiculous. It's just so happens that most of the difficulty of the star is contained over here. And the rest of it is, yeah, not that difficult, it's just jokeable, especially with the fact in mind that you just got out of this hill with first ease. Which, yeah, it's been like 2/3 of the run and we've been saying first ease like probably 50 times. Maybe it's a good idea to mention. This is a shorthand for first frame wall kicks, which basically preserve your speed or even increase it. I don't know what's the correct term.
After a certain amount of time, they will increase your speed, yes.
So basically they're special because if you delay your wall kicks more, you will start losing speed because you're about to like bonk on the wall, lose height, momentum and so on. But with the first frames, they especially did a quirk when programming them such that you don't lose and even gain speed from the exchange. So in short, with a frame perfect wall kick, you can get to places you usually wouldn't be able to get into. Which makes for some really stupid stars and stats and situations in extreme ROM hacks after this one. Just preserves your speed. Right, but then you... then what do you get speed from again? I think it was the airframes or something?
Yeah, probably something.
Yeah, I don't remember my SM64 tech situations very well. Should have rehearsed better, commentator. But yeah, instead of trying those now, we just have some well, precise time boxes which are going to end with, I think this is the Koopa shell.
Yep.
Oh god, yeah, the shell star. From holding a direction. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so now you will be able to immediately see why this shell star is notorious. Basically, there's a very specific way you want to navigate to get through these slopes, because they suffer from some of those slope collisions, where if you're too close to the top of the slope, you get pushed out of it, because the walls behind the slopes take precedence in the collision. So first the wall applies, you get out of the slope, and then it's already over. King Toad made it look easy. It really isn't that much unless you have good fine control over the whole Koopa shell movement. The first he gives it, the holding direction gives you more. Alright, so there we have it. Yeah, if you have any more questions about how the intricate movements that are all over this speedrun or other extreme ROM hack speedruns work, then you can ask people like Jar. He's one of the big ones in the community for the sake of well, knowing how the game works and coming up with insane skips based on that.
Alright guys, it's time for the freest star.
Oh boy, it's time for the... Yep, it's the one hidden one in Bowser's Quicksand Pit, and you know what they say, hidden stars are free.
There's potentially the most filler star in the game.
There are some contenders, but this one is one of them. Yep, so you see you have like 3/4 of a window over here, and it is a fake wall because we did need the content. And there we go, I think there's more.
Yeah, we still gotta get the key from Bowser.
Now, Marv, you're saying that it sounds like chatting when you're saying it, but yeah, I think this would apply to most
some people. I do unironically say this though.
And I mean, they are not wrong to say that, if you ask me. Right, that's a nice set of wall kicks, and we are basically doing the easiest thing in the level right now, at least intendedly, which is getting to Bowser. Yeah, I think it was Wogwart's intention for Bowser to take like 2 or 3 jumps to get there so that people can progress with the game, and then the stars in the level are the so-called actual content that will kick your butt.
That's definitely a change of a change in mindset from Bowser 1 to Bowser 2.
Yep. But I mean, that's also a change of quicksand, which is quite something.
Yeah.
Because then again, Bowser 1 was grasslands with small patches of lava.
Yeah. There was only one patch of lava at the whole stage. And there was even a healing heart if you fell down.
Exactly. Again, following, at least often enough, the design principle of let people retry their jumps. Without just brutally murdering them. Yep, well, real chatting is saying you can get world record in vanilla. Well, that one still deserves to be explained because, well, pretty simply put, it's different sets of skills. Grinding the tricks and basically the inputs required to do well in vanilla isn't the same thing as learning the multitude of movements you need to beat extreme ROM hacks. Yes, they are pretty difficult, yes, getting the stars does show you have a lot of skill, but it's a different type of skill than the vanilla speed. So it's not by default that ROM hack players that play ROM hacks like this can get a world record in vanilla, just because of the skill. If only that was the case, we would have had some pretty interesting leaderboards. Okay, I see. Oh god, here it goes. Okay, so we are in course 4, System of a Downtown. Reference was already explained like 7 times with the original version of the level because it's one and the same, just continued. Yep, unfortunately that was an attempt of coins that goes down the drain, but yep, that's the most difficult part of the coins right now, really.
Yeah.
It's at the start. Vanilla is so crazy nowadays, that's also true.
Well, the ending of 100
Yep.
coins can also be a little scary, but yeah, the start with the blue coins is generally considered the hardest part. Especially because we want to get all 6 blue coins in this case, to avoid having to die while collecting the red coins, because as you'll see later, the red coins are in spots that are will make the 100 coin star very, very. That'll make it spawn in a very unconventional place.
Yep, unconventional is definitely one way you can put it, and we'll get to the details as we get there.
But for now, we just gotta kill some enemies, collect some points, avoid dying.
Yeah, regular Mario stuff, run of the mill, just obtaining your pocket and lunch money, because you don't get paid as a plumber anymore after 30 years.
Except a little more spicy, but you know.
Absolutely.
As it always is with this game.
So we did go through a lot of events, which once again shows that where we have anti-design patterns when it comes to coin missions, because we went past the star which is behind the start of the level. It's not intended to get it with the wall kicks that KingToad did, but as you can see, it's totally possible. Normally, so we skip an entire star of content to get up to the roof for 5 coins instead, which is abysmal. Then there were the blue coins, and right now,
no, that's awful, dude.
This is quite the situation. Let's see what happens. Oh god, we are getting in the more dangerous part after the blue coins happened. Oh, jumping box. Yeah, this is... Oh! Yeah, this went places. Unfortunate second crazy box bounce. So we will have to see this section of the coins again as we contemplate, hey, this is difficult, probably way too much than the rest of the level. But then again, similar to the original, the rest of the level has one too many skips, which also make it easier over the coins. Yep, that's the F sound for sure. Life would be so much easier if instead of those 5 coins there was just a star up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, we would be playing easy edition then, and not extreme edition.
Or just the normal edition?
Yup. I wonder what the SM74 normal edition would be called like. Oh wait. Yeah, I know this sounded pretty stupid, and on its own it's a bad joke, but this is intended to be a jab at the people who kept making remakes of 74 and EE, just like object edits. There's the E4, E6, the pretty crazy stuff we should not even get into. And then I think there were people who tried to make a 74E and 74EEE, which I think are based on the regular one, both of them.
On the original 74, yeah.
Just because we must use all the letters at that point. And I mean, it's an interesting phenomenon. The whole craze with 74 in multiple ways. Baby's first downtown. Oh boy. Yeah, all the houses do not exist because that would be too difficult to climb. But yeah, the point is that kind of makes like the original Extreme Edition notation lose its sense, because at this point, what is 1E supposed to represent when it's used one time or 3 times total or like 8? Also peep this roof, it's pretty nice.
Like here we're gonna go for a pretty tricky jump near the kind of hundreds if I can move the man.
I am patiently and nervously waiting for you to move the man.
Oh my god. Lag almost killed that attempt. God, I don't know why I'm getting so much lag spikes right now. My computer is not being the greatest right now.
Yeah, that's... Well, again, thank God it survives.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta be thankful for that. Okay, here's one of the major skips in the level. You can just get to the top here of this section and skip into other areas that you should otherwise only access by going through the sewers, which are now drained. 1E is just addition. Well, you say that, but up to artistic interpretation, if someone else releases their own hack that's called 74E, it might start meaning something else. Because who knows at that point? Donate now to the Get Katie a New PC fund. To be honest, that's probably an admirable goal.
Well, don't do that. I should have the fundings to do that right now. Or at least.
Well, the question is, do you have the fundings, or is it just should?
Well, it should, but you know, I don't want people donating to me, and in fact, you can't even do that right now.
Okay, sorry for that. Yep, that one house is basically the treasure chest of the level because it contains a bunch of enemies and this hidden 10 coin box.
Yep, for a total of whopping 20 coins in the house.
Yep, and now here's the big deal with the red coins, which is why we were so alarmist about getting the 100 core stars first. So you jump and get that Koopa shell, and once you exit that platform, you see nothing but quicksand for the rest of the adventure.
Yep.
Yeah, all of those red coins, all 8 of them, no exceptions, are over quicksand in multiple layers. And the challenge is not bonking into any of the walls and not dropping too early before you get all the coins on a layer before going more down into hell. You don't even get to think about the 100 coin star, or it's either that or you sacrifice the red coins attempt to obtaining the 100 coin star and dying immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yep. And the net time save of this route is positive. That's good to know. Quicksand pit 2. Yep, the baby's first quicksand pit. Damn it. Okay, and a little bit of a gift from the camera, which decides to turn completely around when you get the 8 red coin, just to be a bitch.
Well, yeah.
And that's how we go to Katie's house and get him a new PC instead.
No.
Oh wait, I was reading the chat messages again instead of doing my commentary. Whoop. I'm sure that wasn't on purpose.
Nope. But I mean, it gets the game over out of the way early, so that's fine.
Yep. Again, another sort of RNG manipulation, or... Okay, it's really not the case, calling it an RNG manipulation is a meme, but it is a life count manipulation in a way, because it's different having the opportunity to die 4 more times as opposed to always being near a game over. And again, we get to see those funny wall kicks.
Here we're just gonna go for the stars in the level, which by doing hundreds, we pretty much already all got.
Yup, it's one of those levels yet again. One too many, I guess. Yup, comes to show that, well, maybe without the 100 coin stars, or without enough coins for 100 coin star in some of the levels, maybe we would have fewer stars, so you would have like 150 or 140 instead of 157. But the content would have been more enjoyable in the sense of you don't have to repeat everything.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to course 5 anytime soon after this?
Yep, after this course. And we're gonna
Yep.
get 5 stars here, skipping the red and 100 coin star for obvious reasons.
Exactly.
Which is,
Because if
they
we did
take
the 100
way too long for 125 star.
Yep, the speed reasons are the obvious reasons, but it's also a good point to mention. Course 5 that you're going to see up next has so few coins that the 100 coins basically mean do the entire level all over again with extras without messing up anything, and it definitely has a gimmick to the level. The thing that you don't have to, that you must not mess up actually, is a pretty annoying thing. Okay, over here we saw the extended secret room. It's not enough to find out that there's a fake or like a real cork block in the wall that you need to break to access the secret room.
Yeah.
You also have to do some insane either wall jumping or a quicksand ledge grab, as KingToad showcased already.
Yeah. Or you can
Right,
even do a
and-
double. You can even do a double jump kick over the quicksand wall. Although that is much more precise, as you can imagine.
I can imagine it's not that reliable.
Yeah.
Hidden covered, good star name considering that we already had a hidden star just around the corner. Pearl Diver is a sleeper, and then every other star is just fucking stupid to figure out. Like, when swimming all around the level for obtaining secrets which are hidden in clams is the easiest to figure star in your level, you have a problem. Okay, so here's a scary piano that literally doesn't do anything
Yep.
except aesthetic.
He's on.
And here's a King Blue fight.
The piano is on.
Yep.
The piano is just on break. He doesn't feel like munching people.
Might even be a nap, or
Yep.
even a full-on sleep, which honestly sounds like a good idea, goddamn.
We are gonna get that soon, TM. Surely.
Yep.
KingToad wouldn't do a metal cap skip, trust me. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens in this hour. So, welcome to Course 5. This is Down Factory. Bring out your rubber band copy pastas, because this level is completely nuts. In the sense of, all you see in this level, except for like 2 tight jumps at the top of the level we'll get to, is swimming. And I cannot be nearly enthusiastic enough like Aguap to present swimming in a marketable way. So we just have to deal with the fact that there's definitely swimming. Oh my god. Oh, the water got refilled since yesterday. Yep. No, I mean,
Oh yeah.
the water is coming here for the first time. Because,
Yeah, when I was
oh, wait.
when I was doing Chaos Edition, there's this code that removed the
Oh.
water, and so there was no water in this level.
Right, now I remember with the last remaining bits of my sanity that wants to go to sleep. You did try to go Pearl Diver,
I did actually get it.
underwater. I mean, you did get it, but I don't think it was in the first attempt, because at some point the water was drained, but then you got peril moded.
Yeah, I got peril moded at 5 secrets, and then when I went for it again, when the water was drained again, I managed to get it.
Okay, hold on. CB is challenging me, thinking I will not paste the copy pasta, so I'm sorry, but I have to prove him wrong. I think it was hilarious when we did the copy pasta yesterday and we just called down Factory, now that I remember, because...
Factory.
Yep.
I mean, it's not haunted anymore. It's not drowned anymore. So
Absolutely, so the only thing that remains of it is the factory. Then again, we haven't seen what this factory produces, though I think we will try to address that somewhere, at some point. Yep. people for good at whoever has perms. That would be Mui, but I don't think he's around at this time of the day. I'm not sure if I have perms because I think I am on editor, but not for 7TV? Question mark? Oh, Mui is here. Yep, there we go. We are striking with him. Yep, and now we have people for good. Just for good measure. A little thanks. Okay, so now that we got Pearl Diver, which was the secrets in this level, that was the obvious star in this level, relatively. Which, imagine what that means. You're witnessing this in practice right now. There's an entire tunnel system which was invented to connect the previously active rooms of the level. And each room over here has some stuff. For example, a red coin, or two, maybe a cap box. One of the rooms you will be lucky enough to get through it and see that it literally just has a star in it, which thank fucking god, because oh my god, this level! And now we are trying to get with the wing cap from one room to the other, which I don't know if that's a skip or not.
Yeah, I tried to do a pretty precise skip. I didn't get it, unfortunately. I'm not gonna go for it again. I just tried it once for Captain Bazzer.
Alright, yeah, that sounds good. Again, also clipping through the wall because there's so little distance between the wall there and that part of the maze that, yeah, the wall collision will allow you to get through if you swim somewhat decently into it.
Yeah.
Yep, which skips some of the pain, that's for sure, and saves time on the way there. So yeah, what you're intended to do in the wing cap is fly out of this hole and into this star on top of the level, which KingToad does without any problems.
Yep.
Yep, again the wing cap skip is pretty precise and we will do a metal cap instead, which is intended. And yep, most of the rest of this level is just going to be the same exact procedure. You enter the water, you start swimming, you clip through the wall and go do the maze, and eventually you pop out of somewhere, doing something.
Yeah, it's not that interesting of a level, sadly.
Oh, absolutely. Thank god there's the skips. Oh, there's actually
the
clipping over here, but this part of the maze starts from this section. Yeah, oh my god.
Well, yeah, I would argue that even Haunted Factory in the original 74 wasn't that interesting of a level, so...
I mean, you did have to require it a couple of times, which is the common syndrome.
Yeah.
But at least it had platforming content, which can barely be said over this level.
Also, one thing that it did have is the famous blue coin switch that gives you like 80 coins.
Oh yeah, the thing that I call the vote, and it's just amazing. Yeah. Because of that blue coin switch, the level has 251 coins, which if you want to do a medal challenge, you can collect all of the coins from that level. This is really close to the savable coin limit.
Yeah.
Over here, it's the opposite story, because instead we have a blue coin switch which spawns 2 blue coins over, I think it was that hole that you just fell through.
Yep.
Yep. And you need to get both of the blue coins, because I think this level has something like 106 coins in total or something like that.
Coins, yes.
103, even worse than that.
Coin.
Yeah, actually true. Otherwise you would be able to, and we can't have that. That would be too easy. So yeah, with 103 coins, it's basically mandatory to get the 100s with the reds, and you need to lick the level clean, while being on the underwater time limit. Now this fucking stage has all 3 cap powers, and all 3 of them has a use. It's quite something.
Yeah, here you're gonna see.
Yeah,
here you're gonna see a little clip. There we go. That's to get the vanish cap. That's to get the vanish cap faster. Usually we'll use another tunnel, but clipping here is faster. And I don't know what causes it, but it is. It is a little funny that it exists.
Speaking of funny, I think even if you get the vanish cap, you cannot just pass through the rooms on top of the level.
Yeah, you cannot.
Like they do look like fences that have large gaps, and you should be able to do that, but you just can't.
Yeah, you can only go through the green stuff in the water.
Yep.
Which I use for 1 star, but for the next star I'm getting, you would need the vanish cap, but it turns out that you can actually do it without.
Yep, that's going to be exciting to see, especially because that cuts out on a whole lot of swimming.
Yep. And here I'm gonna try something called Aggie Clip, which Aggie found. I didn't get it, but you can always plunge underwater and then clip through the barrier, which is odd how it works.
Anyways, Rio, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah, and with
Yep,
that,
so
we're going to overall 3, which this is where the big boys reside.
yep, the game picks up because after this content we just saw over here, which was 2 levels with 1 star each of giant teases, and finally this underwater garbage. Yeah, let's have some content. Yep, shoutouts to Agirot, aka Casual with a Timer, aka Master Official, aka at least 3 other out account
Space
names,
Grill
which
69.
I don't care to remember. Yep. Any cover to Drown Factory? I mean, yeah, you could either weed out the trash early or at the very end.
Yeah, I prefer to do the hard stages early.
Yep. Because Drown Factory is just boring, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie did BQP early, didn't he? I mean, as early as just before Down Factory, basically. Okay, and before Course 4. Okay, guess the Koopa timer. I'm sorry for not addressing that. We have 10.6 versus Captain Bowser's 10.7, which by my own invented rules means TB gets a cookie. Nom. My Stevie, oh, Mr. Stevie Worldbreaker, yep. That was definitely an Aggie name. Get out, CV, get out.
Right here,
CV and I were both half right, kind of.
here we're gonna get all the stars bought the 100 coins, which means we're still gonna get the red coins. But yeah, we will skip hundreds for one good reason is that they're long and hard.
Sure, yeah, joke could be made out of that, but it would be so overused that it's better not to. We have a joining by Aguap. Any EE enjoyers? Oh, definitely, especially at this time of the day.
Yeah, what
Only the real EE fans reside here.
what you just saw here is a skip. You're not meant to do this, but it's faster, and I think it's a little easier personally.
So I think this is one of the first examples of crossover wall kicks in the wrong hack. Actually, the other one would be Vanish Cap. I keep forgetting about that one, but yep.
I mean, that's because
That was
it's
definitely-
because Vanish Cap is just a stage everyone wants to forget.
And this one is pretty special because it's basically like a playground for all of those neat little tricks that are totally not a torture. You know? On a similar topic as we were discussing the red coins earlier, the 100 coins kind of involve getting a similar situation to course 8, where there's just enough coins to screw you over if you don't go to a specific place which has a bunch of coins.
Yep.
And it basically makes you redo one of the hardest stars in the level here.
Yep,
That
which,
we are going to see just once.
Yeah, is actually the one I'm attempting right now. As you can see, I didn't manage to get it, but you can still recover.
So the good thing is you can recover, you're not dead if you fail over here. The bad thing is you basically lose the progress, which is not too much anyway. There's the arch wall kick to do over here, over these narrow walls. And finally, our best buddy, the Mario camera. Oh boy. Needed fixed cam for this arch, you're serious? I cannot imagine myself doing that or how it looks like, but I can imagine that as a fact.
Yeah.
I finally did it with Mario camera, and I can't remember if I also did it for the 100 coins or if I have to repeat this garbage yet again.
Wait, did you get 100 coins?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to recall. I don't know, and if you want me to, I can just go to my start display real quick. Opening 74 EE at 2 AM at night. Gone wrong. Calling the cops.
Gone extreme.
You know. Oh yeah, gone extreme.
Ah, boy.
Ouch! Okay, you know what? Nah, I can't. But I can mute the game before starting, because at least I can configure my audio plugin. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. And then I figure out I probably don't have the correct save file for this. Hopefully that's not the case. Oh, warning, because there will be the warning, the Windows sounds.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard those on my stream too. When I reset.
That's fine. That was the final noises. I promise.
Yeah.
Did right now during this? That's what I'm doing. Oh, I'm not attempting the star. Oh God, no. I will pretend I didn't read that baseball because I'm sorry, but no thanks. Okay. Okay. Here's the Yeah.
Trust me. I would love to have you play Extreme Edition, but yeah, I know forcing is definitely not the way to make you do that.
Yep, thank you very much for acknowledging that. Okay, let's see. So here's the thing. I have two save files. One has 128 stars, one has 127. At this point, it's a guessing game which one was my save states attempts and which one was the save state less.
Last stream you did of Extreme Edition. I think you left off at 128. So.
Yep, and also the 127 has 5 stars in Crudevo, including the hundreds, which I don't remember getting legit. So, yep, there goes.
Yeah, I'd assume that's the first 4 stars and hundreds.
Exactly. I mean, yep, I haven't done more with the save states, of course. Not to mention the reds. Yep. I turned this into a co-op run. Yeah, I'm gonna get 1 star while KingToad is clearing up.
Yeah,
the
you
rest
can
of the...
you can take Breezing Reach if you want.
Oh god, I'm not going to do that because your run is actually legit right now, and I don't want to invalidate that.
Yeah. And
yep. But yeah.
How are we looking on time right now?
2 hours 40 right now.
Okay.
So you have 50 minutes to go for those 25 stars and Bowser.
Alright. I'm not sure that this is PBable, but it can definitely beat estimate still.
That's very good to hear. Okay, so the quick detour, was this course 10 or course 11 because of the big switcheroo? I think it's course 11.
Yeah, this is course 11.
Yep, I don't have hundreds in course 11, which means I have to do the funny one more time. On top of doing the other stuff. And even then, when you get on top of that star platform, the jump to the roof to get the coins is not free, so imagine failing that and then...
Yeah,
just bonk you on the roof.
It's a pretty precise jump to get to the roof.
Yeah. 2 minutes per star, yeah, that's...
Yeah, a little unrealistic.
Par for the course for extreme ROM hacks. Yeah, it kind of depends on execution for most of them. Of course, coin stars will drag that down, spheres will drag that down.
I mean, there's only after this red coin star, there's only 1 coin star left, and that's Breezing Beach, reds and hundreds.
Which just makes sense. Yeah. At least that one is easy, just kind of guaranteed because we don't expect you to die there.
Yeah. But we will see some quirky visuals when we get to Breezing Beach.
Oh boy, sounds like a delight. So over here, similar note about the coins. We don't expect KingToad to die because the red coins themselves are pretty easy. You just have to climb the level a bunch of times and then fall off from the the locations where the red coins stand. And other than that, it's basically free to get the star. You just need the movement to get around to the red coins. The problem, of course, comes if you try to combine them with the hundreds.
As far as I know, Drug, the only reason that was... Oh my god, that was awful. But no, the only reason that it was switched is because at the time, I'm pretty sure Cold Water only worked in Course 10. And so Sunny Beach being Course 11, they kind of had to be swapped.
Yep. Some of the many limitations of early ROM hacking. Oh, I see what you did there, yeah. Again, it doesn't mean literally anything for the gameplay except that he's losing time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. It's just annoyance even if you're doing a not speedrun playthrough. Like, I cannot call it a casual playthrough, but a Kaizo playthrough? Nah, that doesn't roll well off the tongue. But yeah, well, it saved it from that issue as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, what a trade-off.
I love reclining.
I love reclining. Yep. Not much to say there. Yeah, I could talk more about early level importer limitations, which is basically stuff like a really small amount of polygons for the levels, which means they had to be kept pretty small and pretty simple in the geometry. Something like, what was it? 2,500 polygons in first and then 4,000 in a later edition of the importer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that leads to certain stuff being cut out of ROM hacks. If you watch Wognord's behind the scenes videos, you learn, for example, that Bowser's Crystal Palace, the one from the original 74, the final Bowser level, doesn't really have that much crystals because, well, the importer limits didn't allow for
Yeah.
that many to be put on the roof.
Yeah, in fact, Zatar's Sanctuary is the level with more crystals. Since the polygon count, I think, was... or the allowed polygon count was raised at the time that was made.
Yep. Which would beg questions like, what if Wogmort was to take over modern tools to do the stuff he couldn't do at the time with 74, but yep, we better shoot this down early because enough has been done with Super Mario 74. We don't really need that content for that ROM hack. Allowing infinite polygons in a hacks was a mistake. Yeah, but at the same time, isn't the infinite polygons a meme that only Skywalks try to present as content? I think, because, well, technically with level chunk loading and stuff like that, I'm still not entirely sure how it works in games in general, but yeah, it's kind of like keep loading and unloading the things that are respectively closest and farther away from the player in order to allow for huge loads. I don't know if it really goes to infinite. It's kind of a buzzword when you use it in computers kind of sense. But, well, I think a lot can be done with a finite number of polygons. Speaking of a lot, the camera in this section, yeah, it's not tied to polygons, but this area sure has one texture and it sure makes use of it in order to screw you over completely alongside the camera. This star was also a mistake.
Yeah, as you can see, I had to wiggle around one specific place to get the camera stuck in the cave. Otherwise, it was just gotta be miserable trying to figure out where I am.
Yep, take your notes, guys. The camera fixing pole. Sometimes we have the weirdest tricks in ROM hacks, and it's yeah, it's really unspectacular, but it's also gotta be mentioned. And also, he is going for all the red coins first because, again, similar issue of scores say they are all in the underwater maze. Yeah. Well,
all but one.
They're all underwater.
All but one.
Yeah, most of them are in the maze, and then the other one is on the other side of the water because we gotta use the content that we have made with the geometry. And then the last one was it under the bridge or? Wait,
yeah, actually... it was under the broken bridge, yes.
All right.
Opposite to one of the stars that is also hiding.
I think that's a 74 reference because the other time there was also a red coin under the bridge, and finally there was a star because screw you.
Yep.
So yes, quick info about this level. It's really one of the easier levels to survive into, barring the underwater maze we just saw, because as you can see it's now entirely frozen. But this is actually a nerf of the original level in a sense, because the original level, Sunny Beach, was a grasslands with water to swim into, which had two very annoying gimmicks. First, exactly 100 coins to collect in the level for the coin star, and second, the star hints basically were not hints.
Yeah.
So yeah, this level fixes...
I was about to say, even after the red coins, you can still choke with the blue coin switch. Thankfully I got it, but it is possible to mess that up, and if you do, it's... You gotta just have to go for another star at that point, because the level does not have enough coins. Unless you go for money back clothing, but I don't think anyone's desperate enough to do that.
Yeah, but at least it's possible, which is more than could be said about Sunny Beach, yes. So yeah, I did really forget about the blue coins, but they're basically all in that one cave, which basically makes yet another situation of, well, get those coins, or as KingToad said, you're basically screwed anyway. But I was going to say Sunny Beach was an atrocity in 74, and this level actually nerfs both of those gimmicks, because the star names, for at least half of the stars right now, somewhat sound like hints, even though when you think about it, somewhere in the nowhere and nowhere in the somewhere are still atrocious names. But most importantly, more than 100 coins, so you can afford skipping coins for sure. Frame perfect boost, yeah, basically. Oh yeah, and the pushing bullies, yeah, there's none of that anymore. But it's replaced by the red coin section, to be honest. And finally we have some other exquisite stars which are not just hidden star, find where it is, it's free but it's good for nothing else. We are going to see some intricate movements down the level once KingToad is done with the 100 coins. Yep. Which, spoilers, involve very tiny poles. And yep, yet another multi-purpose switch, which places two convenient boxes on the two sides of this bridge. The one is the easy one, because it leads to the red coin, and the other one, we'll see in a bit. Unless we don't. I'm interested to see if KingToad will go for that kind of skip. Losing coins due to bad water camera, which is the replacement of the bullies.
I think this is a good opportunity to tell what happened to me once when I was doing this stage. Basically, I was collecting red coins and other coins in this stage, of course, during a co-op with a few friends. And while doing that, it was like 5 in the morning. I was very tired, and yeah, you see that coin that I got that was right next to the red coin star spawn? I forgot that coin and collected the red coin star at 99 coins. And then I went to bed because I was so mad.
Oh my god, yup. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a story that only a 5 AM brain could produce. I mean, there's also the fact that by default coin formations in Mario 64 don't appear unless you're close to them, because Nintendo was saving on processing power at the time and not having to draw too many objects and crashing their fragile console, which is not much of an issue on emulator in particular, which is why nowadays, if you know what you're doing, you can remove or change the drawing distance so that you see coin formations from basically everywhere. But back in the days, of course, that was not done, so if you have a singular coin, it's basically always drawn at any distance. If you have a line of coins, you can only see it up close.
Yeah.
Yep, and I conveniently skipped over the other star into the underwater maze, which is basically the same, but you need to find the random hole in the one texture that actually exists and leads to an entire freaking star.
Yep. Got 6 red coins at a star in that little cave.
Yep. Content as usual. Okay, so here's the secrets which involve most of the poles I was talking about earlier. It's an interesting star because, to be honest, it's a neat little section, very self-contained. It's pretty simple what you have to do, it's just not the easiest thing in the world because, well,
yeah, as you can see,
go play with the precision.
These walls are pretty thin, so they're easy to just slip out of.
Especially with Mario camera.
Yeah.
It's the usual deal that we saw all the time, basically. Okay, here's the neat little thing. There's this lowest pillar which you can do a series of cool wall jumps towards almost directly instead of having to jump from the top to reach it. And this spawns the star in the former bully escape position. If you've played 74, you know what's up. If you haven't, then I guess the camera cutscene didn't tell you anything just now.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Also, fun fact, the star name states Secret of the Smaragds, which is like a German and in some other languages also a name for emerald. Common German-English situation. Yep. I'm glad to have explained that just as it was mentioned in the chat. Plus minus stream delay. And I think this leaves us with let's see. Oh, are you going for hot pole dance or are you?
No, I went for another star and I tried to go for a little skip.
Yep, let's see it. By the reaction, I would say that the skip was successful. I did mention there's another box earlier, but we are skipping it with this insane set of jumps. Who would think that you're able to squeeze inside there like that? But yep, it's like perfectly set up, even though it was not intentional. That would be the English term. Yep. It's funny because the German word is also used in Bulgarian, for example. So it's funny to me. Well, yeah. I don't know how many other languages, if any, have that.
pretty sure we don't in France.
Oh wait,
French.
is it emerald or is it a different gem? It might be different. Oh well. And now it's time for the hot pole dance. Yep, that's a
way
pretty
too hot.
special one because, as you can see, it's straight fire. Oh my god, I can't. I was never good at making these jokes enthusiastically, and not especially not at this time of the day.
It is pretty late, especially for you. You're 1 hour ahead.
Oh boy, 3 AM. Okay, so that was a failed attempt, but it doesn't even hurt because this star is just so epic. Just a requiem, and
That is the
it's weird to me because
yeah.
it's hard to pronounce.
So yeah,
kind of, but it could be worse.
for people who don't know, here you need to get a second frame wall kick to be able to actually grab the ledge up here. Otherwise, you will either get a firstie, and that will make Mario go too fast forward, which is not what he wants.
Yep. This is basically what we call a required second frame wall kick, because firsties, as we discussed earlier, give that too much speed that will propel you too much to the other side, as KingToad just explained. Second frame loses some of that speed, but not so much of the height, because you haven't fallen for too many frames after approaching the wall, which gives the perfect combination of height and distance to be able to grab on top of the highest possible wall that this place presents us with. While playing the literal Dance of Death, like the Rocks edition, after watching the one in the side, with those fire spitters. Which is quite fitting because the star literally addresses the fact that you're dancing
It's very easy to get
with the fire.
It's very easy to get overwhelmed by the fire if you don't get the jump first try.
And yep, the hopscotch is guaranteed. And the fire can body you into combos like the one we just witnessed here.
It's hard to get an opening to jump.
You might have the skill to avoid the fire, but you can only do this for so long before you crack, and just avoiding the fire doesn't mean you will get a good jump out of it.
Yeah.
Is there a parallel Wacky camera in this course?
Alright, cool. Yeah, now.
About that. Yeah, this is SM74 Extreme Edition. Nah, we don't do that over here. We aren't weird like the Japanese who put parallel Wacky camera on in some courses. We just don't have it ever. I think it was always an option, unless all the importers were that limited with the camera, but it's just people didn't know about it.
Alright, in here
Or
we'll
the
just
perks that it could.
Whoops. Oh. Okay, hold on. I completely messed up. Yeah, okay, there we go.
That sounds like a pulse jump. Yep, nowhere in the somewhere, which is basically hidden star number 70,000.
I searched for the wrong hill.
Oh god. Sonny Beach had parallel oh god. Okay, so it's a complete... I would call it RNG, because if I don't call it RNG, it means that the people did it on purpose, and that's even worse. This hack predates parallel cam, yeah, in the form that is patchable to the entire ROM hack, yes, but you can technically set a Bowser course camera per course in the level importer settings. So that's kind of what we address. There's the slight differences because the parallel camera that is patchable to the entire ROM hack has evolved. That's also why there's the term Aqua Cam on top of the regular parallel camera. But the Bowser course camera has probably always been there. So yeah, just a directional. Better said. Okay, with that being said, camera or not, welcome to course 12, Cliff of Pain.
And it sure doesn't lie with its name.
Yep, this is the second firstie city, and oh my god, why are you getting the firsties first try? Holy god. Yep, you need a firstie to get out of the starting pit of the level, so you're in for a journey with this one. And finally, 2 firsties to get up this hole, which KingToad did just flawlessly. Well, let's see if that continues. Cliff of Cliff, yup, one day. Well, he did land on the box, so that's good progress for starters. So yeah, this course is the deadliest thing you will get to see before the spheres. Next course, as it takes at number 13, is like a breather course, because we return back to the lava things from the literal start of the game.
Yeah.
And over here, you are playing with death all the time, or the death pit, if I need to be exact.
Course 13 is a little bit of a break, because, you know, lava is always going to be more forgiving than no floor or quicksand.
Yeah, you're back to being able to mess up and not dying for it. Which is not the case here, because you can mess up in the jumps like the weird wall kicks he's doing all over the place, but this is just to traverse farther in the level. When you get to the stars and their content, then you actually need to do the stuff without dying.
That might be the fastest I ever like did that sequence of jumps.
Oh god, yep, this is like basically the firewall, we could call it, because of, well, it's a wall with boxes and nothing else on it but the fire splitters. Jar, that's a sentence. So yeah, there's two ways to get this star. There is this one which is intended and is difficult, and there is another one which requires a pretty difficult trick, which is known as a glitchy walking. Where basically you bonk it into a wall in such a way that whenever you wall kick immediately after that, you continue going forwards instead of changing directions, because your direction was in a way already changed as far as the game is concerned. It's quite the sight to behold when it actually happens.
Alright, yeah, and we're not going to be seeing that right path ever again. From now on, we just go on the left path.
Thank freaking god. Yep, so this one is more like intended to be the main path to get to the other sections of the level, the other floors even, and as you can see, it really is a weird one, because again, you need multiple sets of unorthodox wall kicks and then this giant section to get to the top of the pillars, because for whoever isn't noticed, the level is upside down, and this doesn't really come with positives, it just makes things more absurd. And also I think the level is upscaled, which
Yep.
Yeah, I just hate principally. I think
Well, that
At
can be
least some
said
people
for
should be
that
able
can
to
be said for pretty much all the levels in this game. They have they are upscaled a slight little bit.
Yeah, but I think it's the most noticeable with this level.
Yeah. I would also say it's noticeable in the early levels. But this is definitely also a good example of upscaling.
Yeah, it has some crucial content where you get to realize, like for example, those last jumps for the Star KingToad just got, wait, in the original that jump was like, it was way too easy to cover the distance, you could even overshoot it. And over here you need a chain long jump to secure the distance to get there.
You can definitely get there without a chain long jump, but it's much tighter. Oh!
Yeah,
That's
you
a
probably don't want to
stupid
do
one.
the speed.
That was a stupid death, but it was kind of funny.
Okay, yep, this is a very convenient geometry that you finally got out of, and now... why did you never realize that the stage is upside down? I don't know, Jarp. I mean, what does it look like on the Oh, bonk jump. Kerchonk even though that was not exactly that, because we call invisible walls that.
Oh, there's the Kerchonk. Just hit one.
Also, I don't know whoever remembers the times in which speedrunners would kill the eyeball in the middle of the first floor.
Yeah.
In order to free the way to do the jumps towards either the right or the left path. Those are certainly times. So, by the way, those wall kicks over here, the active camera works pretty well, but they are not trivial, because only very specific parts of the walls are aligned to be parallel. If you strain a little bit too much to the right or to the left, you will basically go off course and have to drop the wall kick section and try again.
Yeah. And also, yeah, as you just saw here, there's the Hifo cave.
where the most notable features are wall kicks. You probably thought I was going to say heave holes, but looking at these wall kicks, it probably doesn't become apparent, but the upscaling comes into play as you need to do those wall kicks pretty well, not only firsties. I think second frames would also be fine.
Second frames do get higher. Ideally, you want to get some firsties, but yeah, it's definitely better to not go deliberately for firsties, as you know, that can get you that can just get you a normal bonk, and then you fall all the way down again, and potentially get flipped by heave holes. So it can escalate.
Which is where the heave holes come into play finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those walls over there were just far apart enough for you to have to do pretty precise wall kicks without being forced to do them frame perfectly.
Yeah.
Quite the sight. And also, I don't know about you, I haven't been listening to any music for like 3 hours straight, but I don't think the music in this level helps anything.
Yeah, no. In fact, I think it would just make you more bored.
Me as a viewer, yes, but for people playing this level, not you because you're used to it, but I don't think it's good music for wrong hacking activities anyway.
You know, this song is probably one of the few examples I have where I feel like it's an entirely different song just based on the level that it's in.
Ooh, yeah, I could imagine that actually. It, like in this level, it does kind of act as a staple or something.
Yeah, for, you know, well, for some
It checks
reason.
out since it's the same one as the Round Factory. Yeah, here we go, case in point. That's exactly what King told me, I imagine. Because, well... Yeah, this level is stressful and the Round Factory is boring as shit. At the same time, we were in the Round Factory like 10 minutes ago. I already forgot that happened.
Well, probably more like 20 by now.
Yeah, fair. Gumi Gallon music hype. Yeah, when I hear this music, the last thing I think of is hype.
Yeah, but I was also talking about Course 2 in Twisted Adventures Advance Challenge, which, yeah, I'm gonna skip most of the details here, but I had a really, really rough time with that course, and so I always keep a bad memory of it whenever I hear it.
Fair enough. And finally, yup, if you watched the very start of the marathon, then you saw what Twisted Adventures Intense Challenge can do.
Yep. Right, here we're gonna go for the Stud Star, which we're not actually supposed to get. We need we would normally need the Wing Cap, which can only be unlocked at 125 stars. Because, well, what do you know, the Wing Cap is behind the Bowser 3 door, so, you know, how convenient. But you can just do these wall kicks here, and we can reach the Toad without having to get 125 stars.
Again, not very intended, a bit of a pain, but hey, it gets the job done, and it's one of the easier stars that we are to get in this section of the game. This is very hype to hear in TAIC. Ah yes, it totally is on the theme of wanting to tear your hair out of your head, because you're stuck doing, yeah, stuff that we will censor over here. Got that star that way, yep. I wonder how many people genuinely thought that it has to happen that way.
I mean, it does,
But well.
it feels a little intended, but yeah.
Okay, so here comes Acid Peak. So first off, it's time to wake up because it's Bubble Group song, which definitely is an upbeat track. And second, it's time for another rehearsal at Arch Wall Kicks with Mario Camera, because of course.
And you will love what this is for, because this is not actually for a star. This is for something else, and I died because corners.
Well, in a way, yes and no what you said, but we'll get back to it when you get on top of the whatever the hell this is.
I do know that it will lead me to something, but I will not directly get something from going there. Dude, what is happening with the walls right now?
Which is kind of insane. That is true. But I mean, this level is pretty welcoming at least, because we have Welcome to the Acid Swamp.
Yep.
Over here, especially with, well, this vibe check of Archwalkings. And then the other level was just like, move your butt up there.
Yeah.
How will we? It's for that, yep.
This is definitely one of the... This is definitely the most upbeat level of World 3 if we exclude the very final level, which you unlock after getting 150 stars.
Which is basically the reward level with
Which,
some
yeah,
extra
fun
little
fact,
bits.
the entrance to that level is actually located in here.
But we really don't profit from trying to go to that level because
Yeah.
it really is locked and you cannot do anything about it.
And,
You can
well,
probably do vanilla Castle Grounds bullshit, but
It's
yeah,
way
no,
too slow. Anyways. Oh my god!
doesn't mean no problem.
Yeah, these as you can see, these archers can really mess you up.
Yeah, I mean most of the level even then, with or without archers.
Yeah.
Like you use the cannon for the... Oh god, I am already spoiling stuff, but yeah, you're doing that with that, and then I don't think you're using it for any other stars.
Yeah, no. Well, if we were in 157, you would also use it for red coins, but yeah, we're not gonna get that here.
Oh yeah, right.
But here's the
Finally got a...
yeah, Star 1 is, you know, it even unlocking the cannon is fast enough when you do it right, which I'm not doing it right now, but I kind of still need it.
Yep, I mean here is the
Oh!
possibly the most difficult. Yep. And as you can see, the top... No, actually you cannot see it right now, but the top of that one last arch looks surprisingly similar to the one that we saw in Dried Out Dead Desert.
I just keep getting trunked by corners, which means bad collision on corners.
Yep, translating the lingo. And oh god, and I think that's a... Okay, that's very not a death, which... Again, not a big deal in this level specifically, but on the other hand, we don't really need a game over right now.
Yeah.
Which is why it's time for some backup health. And as you can see, we have the funny star with the mountaintops returning fresh from 74. Secrets will become relevant later.
God. This is... I can already feel that this is gonna take a while.
Man. Well, yep, this really is the home stretch over here. Burger starts from this level, and then we are on to the spheres and Bowser. That's the roadmap towards the end. It hopefully doesn't take too long.
Sorry.
Yep, I mean, it's that time of the day. EE replaced Twin Cap with Metal Cap, which is probably the weirdest decision Wogmore could have made, because this level is quite playable even without the Metal Cap, and it would have been harder. I think this all from Overworld 3.
Yep.
But again, good thing we do have the Metal Cap, because the breather is nice. Once we get out of this...
Yeah, although we're not gonna actually use the metal cap here, we would use it for red coins and 100 coins, but we don't do that right now.
It's just the level is that easy. My god.
God.
But also it's nice to mention, for example, the skybox, because this is another example of those upbeat looking, well, sounding and looking levels.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's covered in green garbage everywhere, but it is watchable. It is not dark and gloomy.
Dude, oh my god. Oh.
It's a shame really, because some of those you just do the arch by not even ledge grabbing the top of it, so that's a pretty clean
I just cannot archer the
clearing of
third
the
one,
arch,
man.
and then the next one. Yeah. Does any 74 edit have diagonally tilted spheres? I'm glad you asked this question, because this was discussed during What's the Delightful Dioramas 2 days ago. Basically, some very off-brand fan edit that even we don't think of right now might have a diagonally tilted sphere, but that's basically not a good idea. Wogmore is not going to do that himself, because there's like a million possible diagonal rotations, and
He's already done
tilted
6
cube.
rotations, you gotta give him credit. Okay,
Yep. 6 is already way too much, so... Yep. requires a bit more effort than a regular 74 edit. I mean, if you have the models which people have basically recreated like 17,000 times at this point, anyway, then not really. Gameplay-wise or game design-wise, it would require effort because it's gonna do some stuff. There we go,
Yeah.
That's the cannon bomb! Yup, we did this to unlock a cannon. That was not even for a star, not directly at least.
And you still gotta do
And that's
2/3 of that for a red coin.
Yep, which is again good design. Absolutely.
But yeah, normally I would go for a harder star after that, after unlocking that cannon bomb. But if you see, I'm kind of at 0 lives, and cannons don't really save, like when you unlock them right off the bat. So I kind of have to get a star right now to save, and I want to get an easier star.
Yep. So let's just secure that in the bag, even with the metal cube. And you see, there's oh, you're going to go for the aura. Okay. Yep, for this one you definitely want the metal cap, which again it's really odd that it's there because it prevents all the damage, including from the fire, that is intended to hit you.
Okay, yeah, I kind of forgot about that usage of the mel cap. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's fine though. I mean, well.
Also, my stream's dropping a lot of frames right now. I don't like that.
Oh crap. Well, Lucy, it really is the home stretch. It only has to survive like 15 more minutes coping.
Yeah, I'd assume I'd assume I've reached
voice
the
conditioning
3-hour
is
mark already.
Yep, you have passed the 3-hour mark. I'm not gonna be exact about it, and chat, we don't need you to be exact about it either. That's on purpose. Just use ROM Manager to rip the level model. It's surprising that the thing is openable in ROM Manager, but I guess it also makes sense because it was made with Object Importer pre-Skelox. So yeah, that sounds nice that it's openable like that. Okay, KingToad did quite the jumps on those asset room boxes.
Yeah.
Still a bit of extra effort. Marv, what did I tell you? Of course he didn't listen, or there's probably that much delay.
Yeah.
Well, too late. Okay, well in any case, again, just real quick return to the diagonally tilted spheres. Basically tilted the cube in the Wuxdale Outflow Diorama's respectively Tiny Torture was apparently a pain to make already, because it exposed stuff to a lot of ceilings and made Collision a hot mess to do. So much that he finally applied the trick of removing ceilings. And yeah, if there's that much problem in tilting a cube, then tilting the spheres is definitely not going to happen. Not to mention they will not be made for that. Like, they do survive reasonably well being rotated all the 6 ways, but diagonals is too much. Import a level from another hack export level model. Yeah, the thing is, if the ROM is touched by SM64 editor and possibly also level importer in the Skelox versions, then ROM Manager will throw a fit and tell you that no can do Winston.
Dude, no. Come on, man. Don't fucking do this.
Oh, this is gonna get close. Yeah, the secret hitboxes is an interesting... Oh, thank God you are facing the correct way. Oh god, where the hell is that secret? Oh. Welcome to the chat room. The message did go through, Marv, so that's just extra exciting to see. Yeah. Yep, that's the way you can get bullied inside the eyeball using the iframes to get the upper edge or the upper hand. With a version of ROM Major from 3-4 years ago. Yeah, I don't think that makes a difference. As far as I know, ROM Major is still not capable of doing shit to SM64 editor ROMs, because honestly that would be too much effort. Okay, so this over here makes the 5 mountaintops. There's really not too much to say about them, you just climb around the whole level, and with the recovery cart near the cannon, it's not even a close battle.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really need to break a sweat. The only exception is this situation, again because of the 0 lives. Germany moment, oh boy. Yep, I mean, yeah, the 3 AM curse. Yep. don't play wrong hacks at 3 AM because you don't know what weird shit might happen. Oh, you can change that in the router settings? Like a freaking alarm? 74 and EE were made with TOAD64. Either you don't completely know what you're talking about, or you're just trolling me right now, because well, they were made with that for object edits, but they were made using, I believe, both of them Object Importer from the Frauber times for importing the actual levels. Because, well, object editors and level importers were not one to like nowadays with ROM Manager. Scheduled reset to prevent issues. Instead it causes more issues, so GG.
I just want to say this was intentional, that's just because I need lives right now. I don't really want to go into the spheres with 0 lives.
Oh yeah, that would be a psychologically terrible idea. So that was Welcome to the Acid Swamp. People usually end with that star because it's free after you have secured the cannon, and the other stars are not too difficult either. So, yet again, it's like a breather and reward before you dive into the deep end. Which is what we're about to do right now. Only 5 more stars to get. How hard could it be to fill in the holes? Well... Yep. Fear levels.
Yep. Yeah,
I hope you've...
Here we see the first of the 2, which is Veneno Sphere.
Yeah. It's some people's favorite level, I think, out of all ROM hacks, which is a weird thing to say, but okay.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite level of all ROM hacks. I would say it's my favorite sphere, though, out of the 6.
Yeah, gotta wonder, because if I'm at gunpoint to choose one of them, or if I'm just to choose between the EE spheres, I would still choose Crudevil because of the epic, and to be honest, I like most of the Crudevil jumps more than this one. Say for the French fry, let's call it that way, for friendliness.
I can see the argument, for sure.
Yep, thank you very much for mentioning that. Like, every electronic device can have problems when it's running for too long without being turned off, right? Oh yeah, that's right, good reminder to reset my router, I guess, at some point. Did Katie win the decathlon by a landslide because of certain events, including a certain BOJ simulator?
Oh my... I always do this mistake!
Wait, there are 6 spheres? Oh boy, it's time to recap on the War of the Spheres. So we have the original 2 spheres, Luminium and Umbro Sphere, the upright and the upside down spheres in Super Mario 74. Here come the Veneno and Crudevil sphere you will see a little bit of in this run for 74 Extreme Edition. Finally, Look Delightful Dioramas, after like an 8 or 9 year break, decided to return with an extra sphere for the Sphere fans, which makes the 5th rotation of the Levora sphere. And finally, Vox Tiny Torture, which is the Extreme Edition of Look Delightful Dioramas, just had to finish the whole deal, adding a 6th Bartrock sphere rotation. So that makes for the all 6 major rotations of a 3D model, making for 6 spheres total, at least from the official spheres. There are also fan-made sphere spin-off levels, and we really don't need to get into those. Probably the 2 from, what was that? Yep. The 2 from Wax Delightful Dioramas and Wax Tiny Torture respectively, 1 each actually. Which again, they didn't need to exist, but yep, that topic we also discussed the other day, so feel free to rewatch the Wax Delightful Dioramas run for the creator commentary on this topic and many more. The one hack put all rotations into one side. Oh, that's right, that exists. I forgot the exact wrong hack, but yep. Was that Parallel Stars actually? That has all the sphere rotations?
Yeah, it was Parallel Stars.
Mother of God. So yeah, what KingToad is trying to do over here and doing a bunch of times in a row until he gets a star and then does it again is the one major skip in Veneno Sphere, which was found in some way, I don't know, it's freaking insane. Going speed kicking into a triple jump to gain just enough momentum and height to do a wall jump and grab onto that platform, skipping the entire wall jumping climb of this section of the level.
Going for the skip is worth it. It skips like 2 minutes of wall kicks.
Basically, yep. Yeah, when I'm saying it's a major skip, no joke, it's really... Yep, the real deal.
Even without being that consistent at it, it still saves time.
Yep, and it saves some pain too, even though the cost of some pain, but like it being a one-trick kind of deal and then you're basically near the cubus of the sphere. Yep, definitely worth it in many regards.
Lamau Minium and Omega Lombra.
Now, imagine if those were the names in 10 years after, that would have been an event. Event-G? Yeah, that's see, that's a difficult set of words to pronounce. When you put jet to the end of the.
I actually did
word.
have a an alternate name for the Lombro in 10 years after, which is
Oh god.
Wait, what was it again? I'm sorry. Yeah, Ombrudello, because I thought it has a nice ring to it.
I mean, it would be one of the two, and then Veninium would turn into Lumino. That's quite something. Sounds like a Pokemon name.
Lumino, it kind of does. All right, yeah. Here you see I got yeah, the hardest of 3 stars that I get in this run, and I didn't even do it the intended way. I did a cheese here.
Yeah, this is also quite tight triple jump, but it keeps the last section of this star, which we really don't want to do.
Yeah. God, it keeps lagging. I like that.
Thank God. Okay, I do feel obligated to inform you that I'm seeing 5 minutes remaining on the clock, so yep. I mean, you are pretty on pace to get the 125 stars in a reasonable amount of time at least. So, yeah.
It's all because of Slide, man.
Basically, yeah, Slide was brutal in that regard. But I mean, I would still argue this is a well-paced run. Like, throughout the entire run, minus the couple of choke points. Oh, yep, let him get 125, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how the Bowser is, I think he had a lot of practice, because you also managed to do like, was it 10 star or 0 star the other day?
Yeah.
So you did also go through the star and everything like that?
Except for, basically for every category except 125, we do the pillar clip to get into that last pipe of the Bazatu section of Zatar's Sanctuary.
Right. Both Tawas and voice estimates are 30 minutes older than PBs. But apparently that's true this one also. Yeah, but,
no, that's not true. My PB is a 321.
Oh god.
Oh my god! Dude! Oh my god, this lag is getting unbelievable.
Then I admire your estimate and I admire this run, but at the same time, holy shit, that's marathon unsafe.
I know, I did it because Baseball put the estimate at 330, and then when I got a PB of 321, I thought I'd be able to, you know, do as good.
Oh yeah, because this was a race at first. Wait,
Yeah.
does he have a better PB in that case?
He has a 304, I believe.
Ooh.
Like, I'm
Yeah, that-
definitely after the marathon, when I get time, so probably on the weekends, I will try and grind for sub 3. And I think I'll.
Damn.
I think I'll call it there for the category then.
Yeah, that sounds like an idea. Especially if you're confident you can melt the difference in a reasonable amount of time before you would have to give up or anything.
Alright. I got the funny star that's in every hole in every sphere.
Yep. I mean, again, it's also surprising that he managed to do this one, and it's almost never really a bad thing. Like, this is a good star one.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the skip for star 2, it would have been also the easiest. Like, it's only homebrewing with star 1 is kind of a gimme, and that's not really a big issue, I would say.
Well, Lavora also kinda suffers.
Oh
from
yeah,
that.
that's right, but yeah, I just don't consider that as existing, so you know.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, aluminium, Ombre, Luminium, Umbrew, crap.
Are you
Luminium-
trying to list all those spheres, or?
I'm trying to remember the name.
Luminium, Umbrew, Veneno, Crudeo, Levora, Bartrock. Those are all the names. Pick your,
Yeah, I know.
pick your favorites.
Yeah, Umbrew. God dang it! I really don't have the mental energy to think right now.
That's true, but
Yeah, Luminium, Umbrew, Veneno, and Levora both have the whole star 1, while Crudello and Beartruck have the star 4.
wait. Oh my god, that's right. Oh, so he kind of failed, but we never cared to notice. Or I guess some people
Yeah.
noticed, but we wouldn't point it out.
Also because it would be a little inappropriate to have those stars being star 1.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, skill issue. Yeah, that's the best thing I could come up with. Yeah, deal with it. Oh, probably gonna be close. Ooh, crisp wall kicks. Also, gotta like the patch of ground that's made like a pattern in every single sphere.
Yeah.
Like a nice little detail. When star 1 is the highest one. Yeah, why not? There's those levels anyway where people get star 1 last because it's that cryptic to get, as opposed to the other stars placed in the level, so yeah, we could just use the same logic over here. Okay, so here comes star 2 in Veneno, which is going to close off this level. Thanks to this very conveniently placed exclamation mark box, and the rest of the structure being just over here on those metal boxes. This makes this star actually the easiest one to get in the level, using
And
that
now
skill.
we go to hell.
Yup.
Crudeo Sphere, aka Hell for short.
You won't see the worst of the worst at all, but yup, it's still quite epic to witness. Just listen to that Bowser music and that epic like 10-second hold at the beginning of the level. Yup, and 123 stars at the 330 mark. Yup, I think that's pretty good progress, personally. And in short, I think you just be keeping going, judging from what the chat said.
Yeah, if possible, I'd like to finish this run still because, you know, I don't like leaving business unfinished.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And you're not getting any no's right now, so I would take this as a good sign. Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, hot take, I really do like that Ultimate Koopa was used for this level. It doesn't go out for me because it fits, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I do agree with the person in chat who is hypercat jamming to this. Or, sorry, I think this is
That's
the
a
fast cat
yeah,
jam.
fast cat jam.
Yeah.
It's not it's not red. Although the red would fit in this scenario.
Yep. So let's do that.
Oh my
I cannot
god.
hear it, but I can honorably, yeah, do that. So I'm even giving up to try and explain what's going on in Crudeo's Sphere. If things are going fine, it should be over faster than I would be able to
Oh
go
my
through
god.
every single jump.
Ah,
Oh god, what's going on?
that was
This sounds
a
like-
ridiculous death.
A spicy quicksand accident. Oh god. This doesn't start very well. Oh boy. Oh my god, that's not it hit. It does hurt. It would drive you crazy if you listen to it for say 30 minutes straight. On the one hand, yes. On the other hand, when you pair it with the gameplay, okay, you're probably right.
Oh my.
Yeah, you're most definitely.
I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you. But, man.
Yeah.
I just want to try to close it off nicely, but I can't.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have talked about the time, but if we didn't bring it up, we wouldn't know what to do with the run. So. Yeah, that happens sometimes. As you can see, the start of this level is already insane. So you're basically playing another dead dance with the dead barrier because you're as close as possible to dying without dying. Like if you peep out of the lowest platforms that you start on, you're basically dead already. There's some fire spitters, there's some slopes, there's going around walls with a triple jump that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Because, well, of set slopes. And then you still have to recover from that in order to get to the first save ground in the level after leaving the spawning point. Missed the Extreme Edition run? Well, basically, but you're here for the tail end of it, which should be the most interesting, because you see, Crudel Sphere. And the final Bowser. That's still something. Okay, and that 1-up, which is basically free to get, but, well, gives you life all the time. Yeah, that Chucky has to be sacrificed every single time because we ain't got no patience for it. So
Yeah. It lagged again, man!
No, this is go- Ow!
Come on, I really can't afford these lags right now.
Just a little bit, it will stay tight, I'm sure. Nasty. Yep. Yeah, 4.9 run at 4:20 AM your time. Yeah, surely that's the biggest problem we have right now. You'll see though. Yeah, catch me not being awake at that time. I know, right? Yep. Me after this run, even though knowing myself, my brain will consider this something like work, so I will probably still do something after
Oh, what is
this
that?
before falling asleep. Oh my god. Please don't tell me the run is falling apart at Kudeo. Now we are not doing this. I did not come here for that.
Come on, man.
That's one of those you just feel, even if you don't play the game. You know.
The worst part is this is not even the hardest part of the star that I need to get right now.
I wonder if you have considered getting Star 1 first in this case?
Well, I could, but you know, I'm a little stubborn.
Yeah, so, yup, 74 is cursed, always has been. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, the level layout of the spheres over here is basically linear. It's made in such a way where each star basically marks partial progress in the level. So star 1 is the first one that will appear throughout the level, and for it you have to climb like 1/5 or 6th, I want to say, of the level content from the bottom to the top. Star 2 progresses a little bit further, and so on, until star 5 and 6 are basically collectathons into the world of insanity and repeating the level multiple times at that point.
Actually, I would say more so that star 5 is the tip top, but with a twist.
Yeah, that really is the case. And for Veneno, it's the tip top a second time without the twist.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, KingToad is going past the star 1 section because there's those few extra jumps to sneak in to get the second one out of this set of wall kicks. I think, judging by the reaction, even if I'm late with the commentary, we will see a success here.
Very
Getting all the
scary
kites he can, and phew. Yep, this is star number 2 in the level, covering like 40% of the content, I think.
Yeah, very
one down, one to go.
Very scary wall kicks. to get to there.
Back in my day, CB says, but Star 3 involves a pretty stupid set of wall kicks at the very end of the star, and it's basically a waste of time if you can't get it. And honestly, man, I would not do those wall kicks in a speedrun, even if I had the skill to do an Extreme Edition speedrun.
Oh my god.
It's a little too much. Still waiting for the white CB fart, because that would always be fair. Especially with the Wax Spike's really scary wall kicks. He's been doing quite surprisingly well at those wall kicks. Like all the time. Like the beginning section of Crudevo there between the first platform with the Fire Spirit and the Yam and the insanely tiny wall kicks. Yeah, I can never get those consistently myself, so good job there instead.
Okay, that was a backup ledge grab. I wanted to aim straight for the star, but I had to back up there because I didn't have a good angle.
And let's see how that turns out visually. Ooh. Nice fire moment. Oh god. Yep, I see. Yep, usually you could snipe the star, but this long jump just wasn't feeling like it, so just an extra moment.
Alright, well,
and that makes 125.
I'm still gonna try to do Zatar despite all that, you know?
Of course, nah, I think you're still within your right to do so. There has been worse when the estimate is related, and in terms of progress, it's like, other than the swipe, you have been making progress basically all the time anyway, so...
Yeah. As you could see here, that was a pretty clean cannon skip right here. That's a very hard trick to nail at the end of the run.
And it's similar to 74, but deceptively not the same.
Yep, because you cannot land on the first ring anymore. You've got to do some shenanigans with the slope.
Yep, basically I don't even know if people did such stuff already in 2011 with the regular 74, but Pokemon did warn and try to prevent a bunch of skips that are possible in the original over here, but most of those skips are basically possible, if not the same, in this place. For example, this house structure that the KingToad clipped through, yeah, that's quite the moment. Mind you, if it wasn't as complicated and it was just a bunch of bars, it probably would have worked better in preventing the skip over there, but since that skip is possible, it really gets rid of a bunch of stuff in the level that you really don't want to play through. Making Zatar, well, it is still a difficult level, especially in speedruns, but it's on par with the rest of the levels, if anything else. The cannon is now unlocked. That one will stay, I think. Actually, it doesn't matter because it's on the path anyway.
Yeah.
Here we come for the final climb. Have the soul be one course, but he couldn't. Yep. Already mentioned during Bowser 2 because of the limitations that makes it so that the levels are shared. Oh god, that was just a bit too early.
Yeah.
Getting hit by the fire there. So yeah, basically this is the final climbing challenge. There's a bit of a backup here in the face of 2 red coins which will give you back some health. Which is what KingToad is going for. Pretty clever move, because the more the merrier, especially for the Bowser fight itself.
Oh my god. I can't play right now, man.
Is this like only happening with EE?
No, it's happening with every
think
hatch.
so?
It's just my
it's more like a
being
computer issue.
poo-poo. Yes, I know, CBP.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Interesting. I think it's one of many things that I have heard / seen, but don't really remember at this point.
Oh my god. The collision on this pillar is insanely bad, as you can see.
Yep.
And yep. The one fucking time, man.
Did you point the Project 64 1.6 fix-up Saglok made? Well, maybe, but again, it's more of a computer issue than anything, as far as we know. Or I know at least.
Finally. God!
Well, that got inside, but Bowser has fire today, that's for sure. Any Kerchonk and yours? Oh god. Applying the fix-ups cause dishes. Well, that's the good old Razzle Dazzle. Well, gotta say, at least this time the recon was incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, of course, Bowser greets you with some pretty nice takes, going like, Jesus, there's always this one guy that goes for everything, because if you're here, then you've beaten a lot of the game, as we've seen in this video. What? Now my final words to you. What are you, monster? Go away, I'm afraid of you! And honestly, I'm afraid of KingToad as well, so fits pretty nice.
Okay, but I feel like you're afraid of me for not the same reasons.
Yeah, but do we need to point that out? It's not as funny that way. Even though you're completely fair to point that out. Okay, that's the farthest bomb hit. Now it's... Oh, well, the task doesn't become trivial. But you have more choice, especially going into positions with less fire for the next throws. Also, I would explain the glitchy grab of Bowser, which looks like Mario is teleporting Bowser into his hands, but first, I hope it's been explained many times by now, and second, yeah, very tired to invent a good explanation commentary for that. Like, talking random words is one thing, explaining the thing in a concise way is not my forte right now. At this length, I don't think Bowser will actually try to run at you, so yep. Yeah, one of the main tricks with Bowser throws though is we are trying to manipulate Bowser into running at Mario because that makes him more vulnerable for grabs. But it kind of only happens at long distances between the two, and it's also RNG dependent, which is why we have a whole meme about NBA not wanting Bowser because he keeps jumping very high instead of running towards us, which is a useful thing.
Well, time is gonna come up on the big star grab.
Whoever is host is hopefully
yeah,
on it.
time. Whatever. Yeah.
Alright, yep. You'll see how the time fares with this. Yeah, this is a 3:46 in any case.
Well,
it's pretty good, and that is quite the GG.
I assume it could have gone worse, but man, it all started. It all went downhill when slide happens.
I would give you more credit than that because the slide went downhill, but then most other courses went pretty well because it's not like you lost your grip after the slide and things went badly. Most of the stars after that went well still.
Yeah, well.
GG's now. It really is time to sleep for us, and especially for the America, I guess it's a good evening because next up we continue with the more long runs which you can fall asleep to. Next up is Star Attack 0.5 Escape from the Jail 51 star in 2 hours. It's not really a Kaizo, but it's a huge rock hack.
Thanks, Gale.
Following that we would have Star Revenge 4.9 150 star. Europeans would not be able to watch that run. Hopefully someone does, because it's quite the wrong hack to observe. Most slides go downhill, oh my god. That's true. Well, I guess this is our ending over here. I don't know how much we've got before we're cut out of the screen, but yep. It was actually quite enjoyable. even though, holy shit, what did I do? It's 3:35 a.m.
I'm sorry.
But again, my pleasure.
Yeah, it was nice to have you on with on co-commentary.
Yep, it was a pretty nice run actually, so yep, thank you for bearing with me on this one.